How are you?
Could be better, but we'll get to that. It's nothing serious, but
Yo,
Where's this bitch?
I ain't
Yo,
gonna hold
type,
you.
where are you?
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Hearing Phosphor for the first time kind of gave me a boner.
why? Why is that? That's weird, man.
God damn it, Type. Okay, I guess we have to skip Type because he is a
No,
traitor.
we can just start and he can like.
Join. Oh, there he
there it
is!
Fuck y'all, man.
He
Fucking
made it.
A, man.
He actually made it.
Damn, that intro. Spitting bars intro. So, yo, a little introduction about you guys. Like, how did you start with Tekken or fighting games in general? Because I'm pretty curious. So, let's start with Type. Because I'm interested.
Fuck yourself. Yeah. I'm Type 013. I play Gigas. You're welcome.
Alright, good shit.
A man
I
of
love it.
many words.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, there we go. Everyone says yes. Okay, cool. And how about you, Phosphorus?
That's a good question. I started playing Tekken 6 like years ago, and I think I accidentally bought it off the Xbox Microsoft Marketplace. I misclicked, and then I was like, yeah, well, I guess I'm playing this game now, and it would become sort of tradition with another good friend of mine, who later introduced me to Gigas, but I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And we would just play player match, play all the characters, but not really understand the game or do combos or whatever. We would just like do run up and grab, run up and low kick, just really stupid stuff. And then it actually got me pretty hyped for Tekken 7. Then I bought Tekken 7 on launch, did pretty much the same thing with Tekken 7 for the first year, 2 years, and then somewhere season 2 I was like, hey, wait, maybe I can take this game more seriously. And then I started playing some characters, had a lot of fun playing Tekken more seriously, and then earlier this year I picked up Gigas because that friend who I'm always played with, he was like a Gigas main from the start. So all credit for picking up Gigas goes to him, because it was always so much fun to watch him play or play against him.
Oh, so the
when he
shoutouts
used
as
Gigas.
well. Shoutouts to that guy.
Yeah. He's joining me to the local tournament in 2 weeks time as well. So I'm very hyped.
Oh, that's actually a pretty cool story. Not gonna lie. So you got actually inspired by a good friend of yours.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is really cool.
And also your videos, because he always sent me your videos, and he's like, oh, look at this Gigastack, and I was like, oh yeah, that's juicy as hell. But,
Okay.
and
Let's
then
be honest, we all stolen it, right?
I think yeah, it's all good though. We sharing the text. I'm good.
How it worked.
So how about you, Talon? What's your story?
What's my story? Well, I was always playing fighting games. In fact, like since I was like 5. Started off on SNES with Street Fighter and just playing E Honda and pressing just 1, 2 over and over again. You know the hand slaps that he does.
The hands. Give him the hands. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But originally I was a Mortal Kombat player. My main was Rain. I used to play Mortal Kombat religiously. Went over to Call of Duty. Came back over to Tekken. I used to play Tekken 6 with Raven. Raven's always been my main. Even Tekken 7 when I started, Raven was my main.
Oh, interesting.
But then I found her quite dry, and although she is better than Gigas in every way, let's be honest, I found her more carry than Gigas. I found that I wasn't playing her, she was playing me in a weird way.
Sounds juicy.
So I had
Sounds kinky.
yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? Oh my god. But but what happened was I ended up dropping Raven. I went in a character crisis for a while, and then I found Gigas last year just as a joke, and he stuck. My mentor was the one that got me into Tekken properly, because beforehand I was just mashing buttons, like a lot of buttons.
Oof.
But now I just play Gigas, and I do so offline more than I do online. I play online just for fun and to test stuff out that I've invented and see if it works. If it
Did you
doesn't,
find
then
Did you find Gigas easy to pick up?
I found him easy to pick up, but really hard to master.
Yeah, I agree. Same.
I find that Gigas is he's a very, everyone kind of judges him as like he's crap, but it's like, he is, but it's kind of, you have to find out how to use his tool in the perfect way. Like, down 3+4 has amazing uses if you know where to place it. Sidestep 2 is an option select for certain strings in certain matchups if you know where to place it. Like, it's all about that, and it's all about trying to mind game your opponent, which in online is impossible. Offline, it's easier, but it's quite hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But yeah, I found that I enjoyed Gigas more than any other character in the game because I just find him quite fun, and I feel rewarded when I'm the one playing him because he doesn't feel like he's carrying me because he is quite bad.
Facts.
So
Oh, yeah.
matchup knowledge, matchup knowledge does go a long way. But when you're playing offline, it's different. It's like most of the people you come against have general matchup knowledge versus everybody, and I find that quite nice. And I found Raven quite. She was good, but she just too much.
What's your opinion on the character rework, like going from Raven?
From Raven, I didn't
Master
really
Raven.
like it. I liked Raven beforehand. I did like Raven beforehand. I mean, there is quite obvious changes, but then there's quite like it's pretty much the same character really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it didn't really. I didn't like the change. I didn't find her quite as appealing as the previous Raven.
No,
I don't know why.
I think Raven had more characters. Well,
Yeah, I mean, let me piggyback on that one real quick. When I saw Master Raven, I was like, so you just gave her tits and that's it? Is that the selling point on this character?
Basically, behind the story, apparently Master Raven is actually Raven's mentor.
Wait, what?
And the Raven name itself is actually a code name. The clan itself is Raven. They're all Raven. And it's kind of crap. It's like Yoshimitsu. No offense to Yoshimitsu, I love Yoshimitsu, but there's always a different Yoshi. Yeah,
it's a sword,
I
right?
accepted that. Yeah, exactly. I accepted that. That's part of the storyline. But it's like, here's Raven. By the way, here's his master. Like, okay. Why? I guess it was just diversity of female characters that they just needed to include.
Yeah,
them,
probably.
Yeah.
Damn, okay, I didn't know. Okay, the more you know, man. Holy shit.
The more you
Yeah. This turns into a Tekken lore podcast. Very
Yeah,
quickly.
Bro, Tekken lore is like the worst lore I've seen in history, man.
I mean, it has some good points, and then you just get the, oh god, what was that?
Yeah, exactly. Damn. Okay. Well, that is kind of the introduction on the guests on the podcast. Yeah, you guys know my story. It is almost the same as Talon. I played fighting games since I was like 5 years old, and my first fighting game ever is like Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo. And I was one of those that also mashed a lot of buttons. I always down to uppercut. The cheese is there. The cheese was there. I'm not gonna lie. But fighting games actually kind of became very competitive for me when I started with Marvel 3. Ultimate Marvel 3, that's a 3v3 game. And there I also found my love for big characters because Nemesis from Resident Evil is also in that game. And he has a fucking rocket launcher. It's literally a mutant, a big fucking mutant with a rocket launcher. I mean, come on, gotta main that character. And from there, my brother, he played Tekken for like Tekken 3 to 6 and Tag 2, and he always said, yo, Tekken is the shit, Tekken is the shit, you should play it, it's amazing, it's 3D, you have sidestep, it is very in-depth. But I was like, okay, I don't care because there's no cool character in that game. Until Tekken 7 came around and he said, yo, there's like a very shitty bootleg Marduk in the game. And I was like, oh, well, I don't care because it's Tekken, I don't care. And then I saw the trailer on YouTube and I saw Gigas and I was like, wait, you mean that is the bootleg Marduk? This shit is so much cooler than a fucking Marduk. And yeah, that is how I started with Tekken. That's kind of the lore behind me playing Tekken.
For those of you listening, Thickest also has a video up on his YouTube explaining like his his origin story. So
Yeah,
that's
it's kind of like a
some-
parody.
Something to check out. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's a parody. So if you're interested, yeah, you can always check out my channel what it is, because I tried to record it. It was pretty fun, but that is kind of literally how it happened. He called me. He said, "Yeah, that's a bootleg Marduk." I looked it up on the internet. I came multiple times, and that is how it happened.
We need your brother as a guest character next time on the podcast.
Bro, he's gonna trash talk the shit out of me because he got a lot of ass whooping with the. I whooped his
Now I
ass so
really
hard.
want. Now I really want your brother on the podcast.
Sure, I'm gonna ask him. Sure. I want this as well.
Cool.
All right, Frosty Gig. By the way, I'm also gonna read a couple of things in the chat because Frosty Gig says Maximilian Dude said characters make a fighting game. 100% facts. I agree with that shit. If I don't see a cool character in a game, I'm not gonna play that game. Why would I play the game, right? What do you guys think about that?
What was that?
Damn, someone. I think Talon sound very soft.
Sorry, I was reading chat. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'm here reading chat as well. What was your main point? You wanted comment
what was that?
a comment on?
Yeah, about Frosty Gig saying that a fighting game, the characters make the fighting game, and I agree with that. What do you guys think about that?
I very much agree. I very much agree with that. Not only the characters, but I feel the community also helps make those characters shine. Because some characters, when they're neglected, no one really gets to see them in the light. And
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
I feel
sad because the
Mhm.
game's missing out on so much personality from a character being neglected.
Yeah, true. I
And-
also
and
think
that-
art style plays a big role in
Yep.
Ooh,
how you
that is a
create
fact.
characters, because like whenever I see like drawn fighting games, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And it just doesn't appeal or resonate with me as much as the more realistic looking.
Kind
fighting
of like,
games.
okay, I also love Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I'm not gonna, just letting you guys know. So for me, it's awesome to see that. But shit like Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, Grand Blue versus those games, I'm not gonna touch. It kind of looks lame, and the characters are also
You heard
pretty
it here
lame.
first. Ficus is gonna be a Master Roshi main.
Oh, bro, no, man. I got so bro, they only showed like what 3 seconds of Master Roshi. That's it.
It did, yeah. Good old Master Roshi.
But yeah, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how he's gonna be.
The chat is going
Look,
wild, by
Yeah,
the way.
Yeah, I see that.
It's very hard
By
to
the
keep
way,
up.
by the way, just going back to the whole characters making the fighting game, and me saying that characters being neglected also is kind of upsetting because it destroys a certain part and aspect of personality in the game.
Yeah.
I feel tier lists are also to blame for that, because when it comes to tier lists, some people focus too much on the tier list and try to pick the good characters so they themselves can play the game. Because back in the day, when you used to play this, before tier lists became known because the internet was kind of meh, it
Mhm.
was, you didn't really pick someone because they were strong. You picked someone because you liked them.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
that's what this game, and that's what all future games from this point onwards is going to lack, because people stop picking characters that they themselves like the look of, they themselves enjoy, and start picking characters that they can win with, like Fucking Rum, Leroy, etc. It's like, once you start going down that path, you can't stop.
I mean,
And
people.
it
Yeah.
starts to
No, this
affect
is
the
true.
game. It starts to affect the game completely, and it destroys certain aspects and personality of the game, and the game starts to become dry, and that's what we are seeing currently in Tekken.
But then how would you describe the phenomena at which Leroy, everybody liked the design and then bought him on launch and played him on launch, and then only after the fact people found out that he was broken, and then played him, of course, for the tier list, but initially they played him because he looked cool.
That is actually a very
Okay.
good point, because
Yeah,
for what
okay.
I've seen on reactions, people went ape shit on his design. The Wing
People
Chun.
lost it, like, because
I'm one of those. I am
Yeah,
one of those
same.
people. I am one of those people. I even told Ficus in our last
Yeah,
mini
you did.
podcast that we did, which was I studied Wing Chun for 9 years, and I was telling my mentor 2 weeks before he was even announced that they need a Wing Chun character in this game. And when he was announced, I was like, I'm dropping Gigas. Immediately, I'm dropping Gigas. On release, within a couple of hours, I got staple things down, a little bit of setup, things like that with him, learned him. In that one day, he was 4 or 5 ranks higher than Gigas, which was my main. And I was like, wow, this character's a bit much. After a while, when I played my mentor offline and I showed him, he was like, yeah, this character is broken. I stopped playing Leroy because I feel playing a broken character doesn't bring out the best in yourself. People will only see the character doing the work for you, and that is an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had pretty much the same thing. I played him for
Tearless breaks the game. That's my point. Tearless breaks the game. Even if the character looks good and people love them, if that character is busted, no one's gonna like the fact that you play that character, and therefore you will stop maining that character.
But would you then advocate against people making Tearless? Because that's gonna happen, like, regardless, I think.
Tier lists are based on opinion, and opinions can form from anyone because everyone can play this game differently and have
Yes.
a different viewpoint upon the game.
Facts. Okay, let me chime in real quick. I'm gonna be real silent, but when you see different tier lists, okay, some of them are clearly like kind of similar opinion about a character, right? But when I see, I'm not gonna put out names here, but I saw a tier list pretty recently, and I was like, wait, okay, I'm not a competitive player, I'm not a professional, so that also might be a factor here, but why is this character S tier? And then the reason behind it is that he said, yeah, I find this character very annoying to play against because this and this. And I'm like, okay, but it really isn't though. So this is your opinion stating like, you're trying to factualize an opinion, but it's not a fact. It's your opinion, and that is not, you know, tier list, people think it is, those are like facts. If a pro player say, okay, this is a god tier character, but it might be his opinion and it might be wrong. Again, it happened with Tekken. People said like, let me give you a good example. I see in the chat, again, I'm not gonna blast a lot, but someone said in the chat like, King J putting Elias in the same tier as fuck and Leroy as an example.
I disagree with that completely, but yeah.
Like, you know, maybe he hates the matchup, maybe he finds that new buff a bit too cheesy, because, you know, now she got like the Moonglide 4, and then you have like a guaranteed dive kick with bar or a flip up with quarter circle back 2. Okay, but you're not gonna say that is as busted as fuck. You know,
Yeah.
Fukuram is just is another tier then. Same goes for Leroy. So no, tier list, you know, you can make a good assumption with it, but don't try to focus too much on tier list, especially if you're not even playing for like tournaments.
Exactly. And also another thing about tier lists is they're based upon on certain aspects of the game, like frame data, poking, safety of the game, like Korean level playing of the game, like everything's safe, very compact, very tight, movement orientated. If you don't have great frame, great movement, great safety, you immediately don't even go on that radar. And the problem with that is characters like Gigas, Yoshimitsu, who are specialist characters, other characters as well, but these two are just, you know, examples.
Yeah.
They are the pilot. The pilot is what makes that character great, and tier lists don't bring in the pilot when it comes to creating tier lists. You can look at tier lists and get some level of depth and understanding of the character you're about to main, but do not take them as gospel, because a tier list is always based on the opinion of another pilot, and you cannot yourself compare yourself to that person, because you are not them. You will not play your character the same way they will.
Yeah, very correct.
Yep.
But do you think like the average person who like jumps online, you know, he's got the Bruce Lee poster, he's got the main man tattoo, and he's like, fuck. I mean, main man's made a new tier list. Let me look. Who am I gonna main today? It's like
No, but it's a fact. It's a fact. It happens.
I'm very much on your I very much agree in your point of view, but I don't think you can expect everybody to have that level of like
If that's the point,
clarity.
we're not trying to get everybody on that level. We're trying to get most people on that level.
Just-
We're trying to
just
get
the people-
level-headed
the
people with brain
people in
cells on that
chat.
level.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Gigas
the
main.
people in chat, the people reading this, listening to this, you know, it's like You need to understand that Gigas is shit. But why? We can tell you why, but there's so many things that you need to understand with the game before you start saying a character is crap.
Yeah.
Like, you can walk into someone online and you can play them and you're using Gigas and they go, oh, Gigas is terrible. You beat them completely and then tell you that your character's busted. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
It's like, if you know the character's bad, understand why the character is bad before you start jumping on the bandwagon that character is bad.
Facts.
Yeah,
People are
yeah.
just like brainless
Especially
sheeps. You know, they're
especially
all
as a-
listening.
oh,
They're all
sorry.
listening to one professional player saying, "Yeah, okay, Gigas sucks," and then they're like, "Oh, if he says it, okay, so the character sucks."
If he
And
says it, it's gospel. My point. If he says it's gospel, but it's not fact.
And that's the weird thing about playing Gigas as a casual player. Everybody objectively sort of agrees that he's really shitty, but then whenever I play him online or offline, you just destroy it with Gigas.
You know,
And
that's
it's
my
just
point.
the complete opposite of what everybody is saying and everybody's agreeing upon, and that's from a casual point of view, it just baffles me sometimes.
Frosty, Dottering didn't just win with Universal Tool. Puma didn't really have excellent matchup knowledge of Gigas. He did have good matchup knowledge, but he also used very, how can I say it? Very niche setups that Gigas actually has that people don't know exist.
and his playstyle, his game plan is it is kind of unpredictable, but it works. And what Dottering
Very
did
awkward
perfect.
timing.
Yeah, like he made like decisions. Even I was like, wait, why did that work? You know, and also if the enemy fucked up once, he immediately punished the shit out of you. He missed 0 down twos as an example. That
did.
down two was
He did.
accurate, son.
Yep, exactly. That's the thing of what I'm talking about. The pilot makes the character, not the tier list. Not the tier list. 'Cause
We've also seen that
every-
when Rangchu won the TWT like 2 years back.
Yeah, with Panda.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
exactly.
Panda.
With Panda.
With Panda.
But
and-
what upset me with this was my other point is that when Panda won, they nerfed him.
Yeah, that was
What
stupid.
the hell?
Yeah,
That was
Why?
yeah. Talon
really
said it in
weird.
the last on the last stream. I wasn't even aware. Like, what? You really nerfed Panda? That is ridiculous. Come on, man.
Why would you nerf a character like Panda when the pilot was the one that won the actual tournament? You know,
Yeah.
his blocking was on point. His reads were disgusting. His
Yeah.
punishment was just gross. Like, it was Rangchu that won that tournament, not Panda.
No.
In
exactly.
in a game at that point where what was it? It was season 1, right, guys? Where Kazumi, who else was it? Kazumi was up there, Jack was up there, Dragunov.
Dragunov season 1. Dragunov.
Geese was Geese was gross. Who else? Who else was season 1 busted? I can't remember. Leo.
Oh my god, Leo was disgusting. Yo.
Leo made me cry.
Yeah, Leo was
What's the
stupid.
problem with Leo? I wasn't that
can't-
deep into
wasn't-
Tekken back in season 1, so
Wasn't it something was plus a lot on block and Jade? I can't remember. I have to go back
okay.
and look at it. But
She
I
also had
can't
like a
remember. It's
pretty
so long ago.
fast high crushing low that knocked down on normal hit, and she had a guaranteed
yeah.
follow up behind if you hit that shit on normal clean hit. So every time if she did that shit, I don't know what the gender is, but okay, every time if it went in like crouch, it is like a 50-50 because she had like a mid launch which is like -12 or something, or a knockdown low. Like,
Yep.
it sucks.
yeah, that's too.
Where's Gigas' knockdown low, huh? Where's our knockdown low?
Yeah, that is a question for a different topic.
But- When it comes to balancing, I don't think. Well, actually, at the moment, I don't think that they're on the right path when it comes to balancing.
Yeah, let's talk about balancing real quick because that is a very interesting topic. Let's talk about balancing because Talon already started with I'm not a big fan. So explain. I'm curious.
Since season 2, I felt that the game has just literally decreased when it comes to balancing and making things better. Because rather than fixing things and inconsistencies within the game as a whole, they've started going, well, this character's broken, let's nerf them a bit. This character's broken, let's nerf them a bit. Let's give this one a little bit of buffs, but the buffs were kind of like, why? Why do you need to buff that when they have something like this that's very inconsistent, which could have just changed the whole game plan completely? And then they started releasing people like Leroy, who was god on paper, was god in match, and oh my god, the guy still needs nerfing to this day. And they didn't learn from that and released Fucking Rum, who on paper obviously he wasn't something to look at like it was like, oh, that's pretty good. It's like it was more practicality when you went into the game and you saw the things that he could do, the things that he made with. The combos dropped on him. He didn't have crushing in moves, but for some reason he actually did. His movement was bar none one of the best in the game.
Yeah, that's fucking
Like
crazy.
honestly,
That was crazy.
honestly, the only thing that I found that was quite problematic in the matchup between Gigas and Fucking Rum was the movement. Yep, Fucking Rum is still a bit AIDS for anyone. He has got amazing mix-ups. Like his free string is. Why does he have that? But the point is, when it comes to an in-depth level, the matchup between Gigas and Fucking Rum is one of our okay matchup. It's not where it's like, oh, that's a bit annoying.
You think?
It's okay.
I find it very, very hard. It's like probably my top 3 hardest characters to beat with Gigas.
It probably is, but it
that
depends
could
on the
also just
pilot.
be
Again,
like my playstyle.
maybe
That
that
is a
exactly
thing.
the pilot.
That is the
The
thing.
pilot, exactly. I haven't really found Fucking Rum annoying with Gigas since I've labbed Fucking Rum. I did find that his movement was the key thing in the matchup that actually made me quite annoyed. Was because the fact that Gigas, although people say he's quite linear with certain things, he's actually not. It's quite difficult to step Gigas. But Fucking Rum could do it with ease. Like he could step us to our strong side and make most of our moves with. Now he can't, which is a quite good nerf.
Yeah.
I do feel that patch, even though it's not even a patch, it's more of a fix.
It's a fix.
Which we were due 4 months ago. Don't get me wrong, we were, but you got to take into consideration COVID. Some people weren't working where they couldn't, get the patch out quick enough. Things like that. But although it's happened, you got to understand it's a problem that's fixed for now until the next patch comes out. It's not a solution, but it's heading in the right direction. And
Yeah.
I feel this is good, but beforehand I felt that the patching and balancing was bad, because it was like they gave Leroy 1/1, 1+2, 1 or 2 was it? The 10-string counter hit that knocked into the wall. They gave him that, and then they were like, oh well, that's a bit much, we'll take it away. But didn't they give Fucking Rum pretty much almost the same type of move?
I'm trying to think about it.
Sure, but I get your point as that all the progression in buffs and fixes have been very superficial and like very one-dimensional. It's like just what you said, that certain characters are overpowered and they take away, they chip away a bit, and then not really the core fundamental aspect of what's broken about the character is being addressed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. It's like a big character like that shouldn't have the damage and range he has if he has the movement he has. Like look at Gigas, for example, one of the best ranges in the game. The guy can't step. The guy can't really backdash either. He can't pressure you. But Fucking Rum could do all of that and more.
Yeah.
Especially and more. Like
Broken.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
I'm also thinking about this topic, the balancing in general, because I played Gigas since release, so I can say a couple of things about balancing with him. A very big example, which I do not like till this day. Maybe you guys know, maybe you don't, but season 1 he had a high which was +1 block in the stance and the mid. Why the fuck did they give this guy 2 mids in the stance?
Oh yeah, the stance is bonkers. Like, anyway, it's.
I don't understand.
It's almost a hard issue to approach, because I just really don't understand the stance from a creative perspective or gameplay perspective, or like when you're playing as Gigas and when you're using the stance, it just feels wonky compared to, I don't know, the way stances are
Yeah, take
integrated integrated into
Miguel.
other characters, because I also play other very stance heavy characters, and it, they make much more sense when
Sense.
playing them.
I agree.
I'm really bad at
Yeah,
explaining
it's,
this, but
it's such a calm, casual stance that if I see a Gigas ever enter Golem in front of me when I'm playing a mirror, I just look at him and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, like there's
You
no
know, it's
there's no
really-
threat at all coming this way if he stands like
There
that.
There isn't. I mean,
But
it,
I don't
it
think
does crush height. That's about it.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
that's one thing.
a stance should have pressure per se, but it should serve
I
a
don't.
purpose, and this just doesn't serve a purpose.
No,
I
it
do feel
doesn't.
that it's quite good at the wall as Oki, but that's about it. A stance shouldn't be something that's a situational moment. It should be something that you can use in the neutral. You
Yeah.
know, not all the time. There is some stances in the game that don't do that, but my point is that if you're gonna do a stance, there should be some reason for that stance to exist other than a throw that can be broken or two mid, one of which is punishable.
If I can give a very good example, because I also play Lee, Hitman stance is perfect in my opinion. You have a bunch of
stance is
options in
amazing.
that stance.
Yeah, and
Hitman stance is amazing stance.
it forces the opponent to think in the
Right,
neutral,
yeah.
instead
Because-
of just react instinctively. Because
Yeah.
now the rules of the game have been changed a bit, because you're in a stance and they need to adapt to that, and that's why the stances are fun to use and fun to play against. But with Gigas, it's just like, oh, I can just hold back and break 1+2, and that's about it.
Yeah, you
Making-
you can do like a manual low if you do a kick, but yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah.
Why
Making-
would
making,
you?
What was that? Making Golem 2 way plus. In fact, it being neutral is strong enough, to be honest. The pushback on it, it's Gigas' turn. You know, Gigas has the range advantage there.
Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
it plus is a bad idea. Being 0 is very good. People underestimate it, but Golem 2 is actually really good. In fact, it's the best iteration of Golem 2 to this day. It's
Also-
being 0 on block.
Also, do not forget that people like to press after Golem 2, so
They
at the
do.
wall you can set it up with the power crush down 1+2.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they will eat it.
I
Yep.
do that a lot. It's funny. Or what I like to do is Golem 2 into Golem, and when they try to jab, just Golem 2 them again, and they go into the wall.
Yeah, no, it works. It works. It works.
It works. Of course it works. It's like the only reason why this works, though, guys, is because of what I said earlier. Is people have neglected Gigas because of the tier list.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. If you wouldn't neglect him, you would know that it's not a threat, and that
And-
you
and
shouldn't
not only
press
have-
after Golem 2.
Hmm.
Exactly. But not only have people neglected Gigas when picking him because he's quite bad and match-up knowledge, etc., etc., but also the balancing team has neglected Gigas for the simple fact is no one has shown them what's wrong. Like, obviously the Twitter community and things like that are obviously constantly bombarding them with stuff, but
Oh yeah.
they used to look at tournament results alone, and let's be honest, the only Gigas that we saw in tournament ever get that high was Yojin Boy.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I mean, if a
They have
Korean's getting
zero-
that high,
zero
there's
point of
nothing
reference.
wrong, you know? Yeah. There's no person out there that can make the balancing team agree that Gigas is bad. But they do know Gigas is bad, but they haven't seen why. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right. No, that makes sense.
And plus they can't fix it effectively, I think.
Exactly, but this is what I have high hopes for, but also I'm quite sad and very, very anxious about, is that there was a tweet saying that Harada has plans for Gigas or something like that, and it kind of makes me quite nervous that recently, since all these balance changes and things like questionable balance changes with characters, I am worried for Gigas' future. Not that obviously we all know that he's going in Tekken 8. We are quite comfortable with this, right? We are
Yeah.
comfortable with this.
I'd
But
be
I'm worried
very,
that-
very surprised if he'd make.
I would as well. But I'm quite nervous to the fact that all of a sudden our character gets quite a few buffs, and he won't be S tier. Don't get me wrong, he won't be S tier. But because of lack of matchup knowledge worldwide for Gigas, he will get the same treatment that Eliza is getting currently, which is this character's broken. This character's obviously S tier.
Or Panda.
Or Panda, exactly.
Yeah.
This is wrong. The character that like Eliza, who was low tier for how long, guys? I didn't play Eliza. I didn't really know how long.
Oh, fuck ton of shit.
Like
Since
3
release,
seasons.
because I dabble with her at moments, so I can tell you, Eliza never.
Oh yeah, you
like
got the vampire thing, right?
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
You like that shit.
You see what I'm drinking, yo?
Yeah,
in homage for the vampires, bro. Come on, man.
It's like she is quite execution heavy. This is true. But since all these buffs, because of all these little setups that are coming out, and no one really understood the matchup prior, it is quite cancerous. It is annoying. But is she S tier? No.
No.
I'm sorry, no. I think she's A plus.
Yeah, A plus. I respect
again,
A plus.
Again, this is opinion. You know, it's my opinion is not gospel.
I
King
think
J's
it's
opinion is
also
not
very
gospel.
ignorant to shout that.
Exactly. Arslan Ash's opinion
character-
is not gospel.
I think it's kind of ignorant to say that a character is broken if you don't know the matchup, like. through
That-
and through.
Oh, but man,
if people get clobbered by my Gigas and then complain that Gigas is
stupid
had it.
busted.
like stupid
I've had it.
or broken,
I've
without
had it.
and then when I play them, I realized that they just struggle with the matchup. I'm like, yeah, well, of course you're gonna say that, because you don't know any better. You don't know how to deal with it. If you deal with it and then tell me that's a different story. But
Yeah, I've been there before, man. When I played against a couple of friends of mine who played Tekken for like a long time, and I picked up Gigas, bro, they were complaining about everything. Yo, but that grab deals a fuck ton of damage. It's broken. Yo, just break the grab, damn it. He only has one grab. Like, this is not hard to do.
and
You
some
know?
people also just don't understand the Goliath mix-up. They just sometimes you just hit that shit 90% of the time, just because people don't understand and just do dumb
I don't
shit.
think people understand how plus Gigas is after he does forward 2 down 1 into Goliath. Well, Golem.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, you are plus 13. You are high crushing. If someone goes to press here, it's a very bad idea.
Yeah.
Speaking
Even
of
stepping.
speaking of Goliath, ever since season 2, why the fuck would you eat the unblockable? Why? Just eat the mid option.
You duck! What's wrong with
Yeah.
you, duck?
Yeah.
God damn it, duck!
God damn it, they nerfed the mid option from 25 to 20,
Duck!
and the
Take the mid!
unblockable from
Why are you eating the
28 to
unblockable
40.
there?
Guys,
The only
Guys,
reason why you should fear, the mid option is at the wall, because the mid option at the wall It's just
at the
better than
wall,
the
at the wall,
unblockable.
the mix-up. At the wall, the mix-up is annoying. I agree.
Yeah.
But
But
in the
on the
neutral, eat the mid, eat the
It's
mid.
neutral,
eat the mid.
You always duck. It's
fucking if I go for the
100%.
high, you have a free launch. You have a free launch.
Yo, someone is frustrated.
God damn it, free fucking gear. Free fucking gear.
I think that's tilted. I think that's tilted in the way people approach the matchup, which I agree with. Some people approach the matchup quite
Oh
wrong,
my God.
and it is quite frustrating for us Gigas mains.
I imagine
But one thing,
like out that what is it, alta foring when people eat the high and neutral.
Like, go fuck you. I don't know how to score. Take the win.
it's like, bye. I don't need to play you anymore. You're a scrub. But no, when it comes to Gigas like that. Although I completely lost my train of thought. That made me cringe.
Yeah, same.
Oh shit. The punch parries. Any Gigas player would agree with me when it comes to people parrying your stance mix up, your 50-50. When people start doing that, do you not just look at them and go, "You're about to receive pain"?
Oh
Because
yeah.
if you're going to sit there
Oh,
and you're
I'm
going
ready.
to start going, "I'm going to parry." You're already playing into my mind game, which is, if you're going to parry, I'm going to delay this and it's going to hurt.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
Delayed
really, really
unblockable,
hurt.
bro. Oh my god, the delayed unblockable, and then with the wall break and shit like that, or the balcony break. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that is juicy.
Like, there's this thing that I do with, I think all Gigas probably do it. You walk up to a gym when you're in rage drive, and they go to parry, and you just give them overkill, and they're back to the wall and they die.
I mean,
yeah.
It's like you
that
rage
is
drive
staple.
into overkill, and they eat it because they're trying to parry you.
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. If
Staple.
people somewhat know what to do in the mix-up, that's the best, because then you're not forced to always go for the instant mid or instant high. Then you can do like the juicy stuff, because you know they'll respect you or parry or do something stupid, and then that's where your real damage lies, I think.
Like back two into back two.
Yeah, every time. Toxic Pudding Cups. Actually, I'm probably the only Gigas that stays this. But I don't know if these guys agree. But Leroy, I don't think he's one of our worst matchups.
No, he isn't, because they are
Because he
resorting a
has
lot
to
to
get in.
parries.
He has to get in. He has to get in. And when he gets in, it's like, okay. But he has really bad range issues. Leroy, when he gets in, what's he got? He's got a hell sweep. He's got, which is quite fancy. I don't know
The
if he's got that.
war rank string.
Oh, which one?
Down.
The down
Oh,
3-2.
the low into
Down
the
3-2.
high.
He's
Yeah,
got
that
that.
one.
Yeah, he's got down 3-2, which, by the way, if you block the low and you duck the high, you can delay hop kick punish, which is 30 frames per gigas. Just so you know, that's how long you have to launch that. What else? At range, if you down 3+4 him and he does anything, he dies.
He dies. That's true. That's true.
Yep. Down back 1-3, down back 1+2 mix up. If you duck the high first time and launch him, and he starts to use the mid, you are the only character in the game that will make him regret using that mid, because it is -10.
Yep. Facts.
You need to understand that when a move is -10, Gigas is the one that gets the most reward out of that move being -10.
Yes.
Akuma is laughing in the corner.
Akuma does as well, but we're gonna exclude 2Ds because 2Ds make us all cry. Everyone, Tekken community worldwide, like everybody cries at 2D characters. Also, most Gigas players need to know how to use their down 3+4.
Oh, that's
yeah.
free. That is free. Yo, I'm a big fan of down 3+4. Maybe you've seen it already in like season 1 video, season 2, season 3. But down 3+4 has so much potential if you master that move.
Yep.
It to me personally, it breaks the game kind of like Yoshi's Flash does.
It does.
It,
The 6-frame power crush.
it makes all the frame so wonky and off for everybody, for you as
Yep.
well. Sometimes I really can't tell whether I can go for my down 2, my 1-2, or just accept that they're gonna block and then go for a back 2.
Yeah.
Like, even after many hours of using that move, I find it really hard to tell when. But imagine how bad that's gonna be for the other guy. You're
Yep,
not gonna
like,
understand what the
in-
hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
In certain matchups, like Dragunov, for example, if you get a read on running 2 and you down 3+4, it's funny.
Yeah,
It is
especially
very,
the
very
race
funny.
drive, man.
It
You can-
completely dismantles
Yep.
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
game plan. Yeah.
But that's the thing. When you are picking up Gigas, please lab.
Yes.
Please lab. Because
Yeah.
Gigas isn't a character you can just go, oh, I've learnt combos, I've learnt punishment, I know
No.
a bit about characters. It's like, that's cool, that will only get you so far. Down 3+4 is a very, very, very key tool when it comes to playing Gigas.
Yeah, I
A
agree.
very, very key tool.
It
Yeah,
is
I-
difficult.
Down 3+4, exactly what Frosty said. Down 3+4 is Gigas' sidestep move.
You can see it like that, and with good rewards. You know, easy down 2, easy 1-2s.
Dude, you can even hop kick people, and remember Gigas' hop kick is like 30 frames fast.
Yeah.
You can hop
Yeah.
kick people.
Yeah. The best thing is when characters have the mid rage drive and you just plow
Yeah.
through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
pulls death fist, and then you start.
Safina's
"Oh,
race
it's-
drive.
Safina's Rage Drive, I'm gonna be honest with you, Safina's Rage Drive, by the way, you can get back to fully charged guaranteed if you down 3+4 that.
Damn,
Sick.
styling on them.
It's like, oh, fuck you!
Yo, Invaders
there's other things in matchups, like, because we're talking about weird matchup things now. Did you know that when it comes to Jack's matchup, if he does, the plant the seeds move,
Yeah.
and he does the diving move,
Mm-hmm.
and he hits you, if you ever block these moves or they whiff, just know that you can key charge forward to punish them.
I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah. It's quite obnoxious. Could you imagine getting 118 damage punished for doing a move and it whiffs?
Oh, Toxic Pudding is actually asking a very key question. He asks, What do you do when you're in the lab for down 3+4, aka how do you lab or how do you train down 3+4? Okay, my way to train that or to level yourself with down 3+4, just play a lot of Gigas online. And first of all, you have to lab the characters first, as in, okay, that string has this amount of recovery, and then in real battle, just grind the living fuck out of yourself so you can adjust yourself on, oh, I've seen this string before. I can down 2 here because the recovery is this and this.
But also, it
Exactly.
also depends on when the string hits in
That.
your spawn.
Yes, and
as
when you
well.
enter
The
the
longer
down
you
rush.
have, the longer you have down 3+4 active, the more chance you have to cancel it and down 2.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to obviously, promote myself here, but when I eventually get a PC and start getting up and running, guys, I will be doing a YouTube video on matchup specifics with Gigas.
Oh,
So
bro,
hopefully,
go ahead, man.
when I
Dude.
do this can help you guys, because I have labbed a lot of stuff when it comes down 3+4. Certain Gigas can step certain strings and kill people, things like that. And I have also found things like down 3+4, 1+2. For some reason, this move randomly will make lows whiff, and it helps with down 3-4 from high rank. Sometimes, depending on the situation, depending on the range, obviously this is situational, the down 3 will immediately whiff, your down forward 3 would hit, and it will counter hit them. And these type of things are quite good to know. Situational things are always good to know, because you yourself know when to apply it. And if you know when to apply it, therefore you know how to use it.
Yeah.
And down 3+4, by the way, guys, if you're using it as a close range tool, I'm sorry, but you're using it wrong. It's not a close range tool. It's one of those tools that are used mainly for keep out.
It's a spacing tool. It's a very strong spacing
It's a
tool.
spacing tool. It's in fact, I would say it's one of the strongest spacing tools.
It is.
we
It is.
actually have.
You can destroy a lot of momentum if you space it correctly.
100%. Have you not watched Yojin Boy's matches? He would randomly down 3+4, and for some reason the other player won't even touch him, won't even move forward. They would backdash or sidestep, because they know if they apply any of their moves that are long range, most of them are quite slow.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to understand the reason why that is the case. Why is the other player respecting an armor move? Because they know if they applied anything at that range, they'd get launched for it. They
Also,
would.
it's not a normal armor move. It actually
course.
absorbs more damage than normal power crush moves.
This is a fact.
In fact,
This
yeah,
is a
in
fact.
fact, I think me and Type both agree here that there is a lot of setups that we have done where, because down 3+4, you can't get counter hit from it. We like to key charge into down 3+4 quite a lot. And
works.
we would, and the 50-50 you get from it is quite obnoxious. It's either you get forward 2'd or you get down back 3-2'd, both of which lead to over 100 damage. And it is an obnoxious thing, but it's quite funny at the same time. But it's also something that no one's labbed.
Also, the enraged howl is also mentally good for your opponent.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can fuck
noise
up a
the
lot of
shit out
people
of
mentally
them.
with
Damn
that.
People just stand there and they're like, "What the hell is going
What
on?"
am I
Stop
supposed to
taunting me,
do?
Stop taunting me.
Yeah, down 3+4 is a super unique mechanic, and I think it's something that's untapped potential in Gigas, and I think it's the potential to unlock Gigas. I think if you master that move, you have unlocked Gigas.
Yeah, I agree. If you can,
It is definitely Gigas trademark.
if you master that tool, you can disrespect a lot of shit in this game.
Yeah.
You
yes,
can trust me.
Oh,
I'm,
it negates like 50% of all the moves in the game. Like if used
For
properly.
example,
yeah.
for example, guys, if you really want to know, like back 3, for example, it's -8 on block. If you down 3+4 here, and your opponent starts to use any mid that's quite slow, like 16, maybe a little bit slower frame, you can down 3+4 here and probably punish them. And the tip here is to find out what moves in what matchup. If you down 3+4, what punish you can get for it. For example, like I was saying in Ficus' stream earlier, if you do down 3+4 back 2 from Gigas on fully charged, you can hop kick punish, which from standing is your most optimal punish for 25 damage as a launcher.
True.
Nice. This is good info.
Yeah, it actually really is
the
true.
literal Discord tech.
Yeah, Discord tag
Yeah,
on.
exactly, exactly. Literal,
We're doing it.
literal Discord tech. Make sure it's known, guys. Down 3+4 is a very good tool, and people need to use it more.
What else is on our list to talk about? Or maybe there's something going on in chat.
I think they're all talking about Down 3+4. Ah, yo, the mentor's here. Yo, what's up, Pygmy?
I think. Oh, is that the editor? No, no. Oh shit, yo, that guy made the crazy mod, dude. That shit is ridiculous.
Jadir, go fuck yourself.
Oh.
The
boy.
Warshed is my mentor, by the way, because the Kazuya you played.
Sorry, wait. What did you say?
The Warshed in your chat is the Kazuya you played, the one that mentors me.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. Yo, what's good, man? You almost whooped my ass, real hard. Hey,
one
Okanami,
that
thank you
brings
for the
me.
bits, man. 300 bits, god damn, that's ridiculous. But
So what was the other thing that we said that we talk about?
yeah, we can talk about, because okay, obviously this is a Gigas podcast. Let's talk about
Yep.
to be honest, okay, this might be very opinion based on each on the sides. Buffing versus tweaking Gigas. So who
Okay.
wants to go first?
Well,
Yeah.
tweaking is pretty much the same as buffing at this point, because he's so.
I disagree. I feel that buffing and tweaking are different because tweaking can be seen as inconsistencies fixes, which in my opinion is what Gigas actually needs rather than buffs. As we saw,
Grounded
the-
to.
yeah, exactly. What Type said grounded to is a prime example of things that need inconsistency buffs. Because when it comes to things like buffing and actually tweaking a character, is like, look at Fucking Run for example. People are like, oh, look at the nerf he received on this sidestep. That's more of a that 100% is a nerf. But when you look at things like, for example, Gigas is down forward 1 whiffing on female characters for stepping. If they took that away, that's an inconsistency buff. And we are talking about inconsistencies being buffed with Gigas rather than Gigas himself being buffed. We did a mod video thanks to Jadir, who's in the chat right now.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. Big shout outs to him.
Yep. Where I spoke to Type and I spoke to Ficus about certain moves given this certain property and things like that. Some of these were obviously me just joking around and fucking about. It's like, if he had this would be fucked. But if you had this would make sense. Like up forward 1, for example, if it counter hits, it should give this. But forward 2, hitting airbornes and screwing, that's obnoxious.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
is crazy.
Buffs like that are obnoxious. Buffs like down forward 1 actually hitting someone that sidesteps when it should, it makes sense.
But do you expect like sensible or obnoxious buffs from Bandai Namco? Because
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. This is the
Yeah.
problem. I feel the way things are going, obnoxious buffs are coming for Gigas, and I don't want them.
No, we all don't want that shit. I mean,
I don't think
acceptable
anyone
changes.
does. How would you feel? How would you feel if you just all of a sudden you see Gigas everywhere? Like us as Gigas mains, we're like, shit, bring that shit on. But it's like, yes, you know Gigas quite well, but how well do you know Gigas if he gets an obnoxious buff like that? For example, I said forward 2 should screw on airborne opponents. What if it screwed on counter hit?
Oof, that will be fucking crazy.
You know, regardless of how well you know Gigas, that would be obnoxious as fuck.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be
You know what I
stupid.
mean?
That
It
would
would
be
be
stupid.
obnoxious as fuck. Like, there is a few, in fact, I think you are showing that, right? Figure? You are showing the modded
Yeah,
thing, 'cause
this is
obviously
just the
I'm quite
video.
aware.
I just booted up the video so you can see all the random changes we got here.
There is quite a few things that I would agree with, which is up forward 1, for example. I wouldn't agree with the rage drive, because the rage drive is a gimmick, and the gimmick activating that quickly is it can be quite obnoxious.
This is the upward
You know,
one.
You're at up forward 1?
Yeah, here we go. I got it here. You will see it
Up
here.
forward 1. Yep, up forward 1, I feel this is something that's needed. This is a buff, not an inconsistency fix. This is a buff that is needed. Back 4, also a buff that is needed.
I wish I had use for those moves right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
but that's why we need those buffs. Because, be honest, who uses back 4 and up 1 in the neutral? Like,
Nobody.
Do we have a reason,
Look
though?
at free, for example. Free, just the normal free, is +2 on hit. Yeah, it tracks to our one of our weak sides. You know, it tracks to what, our left. That's our strong side. No, that is our weak side. I've been drinking too much.
yeah, sure. Wait, let me
But
try.
free is a buff that we need. It needs to be at least more plus than 2.
Hold on.
Yeah, it needs to be more than mediocre keep out.
It does. It does need to be more than mediocre keep out. Up forward 1 is definitely a buff that I agree with. What else buffs were there that I agreed with? I think I sent you a list of the things in the YouTube thing. What else?
Oh, by the way, Talon, you talked about back 1+2 today, though.
That is true. You know, back 1+2, I was thinking about it overnight. Like, I agree that when you saw it on this, it looked fucked. It looked quite obnoxious, whereas if it hit on counter hit, it just stunned. I had more thoughts on this. It is quite slow, guys. You know, and some characters in the game have much worse moves than
Oh,
that.
it becomes a
that
launcher.
are quite faster. Yeah, it did. It became a stun launcher. But it's like, it's quite slow compared to other moves in the game that do almost the same thing, that launch as well on hit, that do a better launcher. For example, Negan's back 1+2. Jadir said it in the chat. Negan's back 1+2. Same thing, combo hits grounded. And
It hits
faster.
grounded?
Exactly. Yeah, of course it hits grounded.
Oh my god, I didn't know.
Back 1+2 hits grounded.
How fast is
Like
Brian?
people say,
Back
back 1 from Brian is trash. Back 1 from Brian is amazing. By the way, if you're down 3+4, that you can down 2 it.
Yeah, I know. we know. We got this. Yo, quick information.
Let's do that.
Quick information.
Yeah,
Discord tag.
There is also another buff in here that I found quite obnoxious, which is down 1+2. It being that fast, when I looked at it, I was like, that's cool. But then I had more thought to it. It's also quite obnoxious. I think down 1+2 with Gigas' damage, let's put that out there, Gigas' damage and range, it would be quite obnoxious. Gigas' ability to make someone freeze up and press where they shouldn't press is bar none one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
Did you
That's how
feel
I-
like
that's my
the previous buffs Gigas received, was that like a couple of months ago? How would you describe those? Would you describe those as more sensible or more obnoxious?
He's not a fan of down forward for 1+2. I know that
100%.
Talon does not like that.
Thickest
change.
note, down forward for 1+2 is obnoxious as fuck. I am very sorry for any Gigas main that disagrees with me, but down forward for 1+2 is very, very fucking obnoxious.
It's very strong. Like the damage is.
It's
I
14
feel if
frames.
they
It
want
attracts
to-
both sides, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. That I feel. You see how we buffed it in this mod video behind Ficus right now is down forward 4. If the second hit hits on counter hit, it knocks down. I feel if that was to be the case, either the plus frames need to be removed, or it needs to be able to be stepped to one side.
Do
Right.
you get it interrupted often when playing?
I honestly no.
No.
The only person that interrupts it is my mentor, and even he is very hesitant to interrupt it at some points because there is very obnoxious flowcharts that Gigas can do off that move. If he just does down forward 4,
Down back
into
2.
example, duck.
Yeah.
Just literally duck, because the only moves in the game that can interrupt down forward 4 1+2 is highs. And if someone starts to jab interrupt, magic 4 interrupt, Gigas gets a launch on you. There is someone, I done this flowchart online and it was really obnoxious of me, and I'm really sorry to whoever I did it to, so shout outs to you for taking it like a man and leaving. I respect that you left. But it's that I hit him with down forward 4 on hit, like I hit him with it, and I just did forward 1+2 because I knew full well he was going to press and interrupt my down forward 4 1+2 because he kept doing it, and he jab interrupted me and the forward 1+2 traded and I got a 3 down 2. You know, that fucked. Like, that is honestly fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can still interrupt down forward 4 1+2 if the down forward 4 hit. You know, you can still do it. But it's quite a buff that I feel shouldn't have been there. And if it was something that they wanted to keep, I think they should make it linear to one direction.
Yeah, if it would be linear, I wouldn't see the problem. But the
I wouldn't see
fact
the
that you do it and they try to sidestep left or right and it still tracks is a bit too much.
Okay, you look at Asuka's wall bounce though, it's high, fast, and a wall bounce. But Asuka's damage compared to Gigas' damage is not something you can compare. Gigas' and Asuka's range is not something that you can compare. Gigas also crushes highs for some fucked up reason with his down 1+2, but there is an inconsistency buff that I would like to see on down 1+2, and that is the fact that you finally make the fucking thing a mid. Because for some reason, if someone has any crushing whatsoever, it just goes underneath it.
Yep,
And it makes no goddamn sense. If you're gonna make it 31 frames fast, it means to make it either A, safer, or B, have better properties than just, oh look at my armored wall bounce, guys, that you can just jab and stop.
Yeah, 9 o'clock also
No.
said, or is saying like, some people go like underneath it. And yes, it even happened today with me. A Lucky Chloe did a Cali roll or something like that. Am I down?
That goes underneath it.
Yeah, I
goes
got
on-
crushed. I got crushed.
Down 1+2, I feel is the high with the mid name, if that makes sense. There's a
No,
lot
it does,
yeah.
it does.
Like Halrang has one which is forward, forward, forward 3. His raw running 3 is a mid, but it's pretty much a high. These things in the game shouldn't exist.
No, it really.
They should.
fix
Inconsistencies,
that,
I
yeah.
feel, are not only a problem for the player who is playing the game, the character with the inconsistencies, but I've said this to my mentor many times, but inconsistencies are also a problem for the person you are playing against. For example, back 1 is a prime example for this, where it's like sometimes it crushes high, sometimes it tracks, other times it doesn't. I would like to know that when I throw out this move, if my opponent does a high or decides to sidestep, I would like to know that 100% of the time I will win, and my opponent would like to know that 100% of the time if he doesn't do X
But isn't
and
that
Y,
because track 1
he would-
invades and it doesn't crash?
my point. That's the
different
thing. It's quite inconsistent though, isn't it? When you think about it, it's
The,
like
the evasion mechanic.
evasion mechanics are very inconsistent.
Yeah, look at Paul's. What's that? That's the teleport move by Paul. The
Forward 1+4, that move shouldn't even exist.
No, that is
Forward 1+4 is fucking obnoxious.
that is suspect. That is very suspect indeed. That move
I
is
don't
stupid.
like that. I'm not playing Dragon Ball Z. I don't want no instant transmission shit on me, man. Like, I'm playing Tekken, you know? If I wanted
If I want to
play
see that
Dragon
shit, I'm
Ball,
gonna
I'll
play
download
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Like, if I wanted to play that, I'll download it, you know? I'm not here for random shit to be happening with my character and for my opponent to not know also what's happening in certain situations. I wanted my opponent to know that if I throw out X move and they throw out X move and I decided to read that because I threw this out and they did so, they would respect that I made a good read. But
Right.
if I throw out back 1 and they were like, alright, I'm gonna throw out, I don't know, 1-2 or 2-1, and for some reason it evades both of them and launches them. But the next time they do it, it doesn't evade any of them and they win. That shit's fucked.
It's annoying.
That shit shouldn't happen. It is annoying.
It is very
Not
annoying.
only for us as a Gigas player, but also for the opponent, because they don't know what's happening, we don't know what's happening. We're just going on, hey, let's just be like, oh, fuck it, let's roll the dice, and if I roll a 6, I win. If you roll a 6, you win. Fuck it.
Yeah, that sounds like trash, and it is just unfortunate
is.
that it happens.
I think that's due to the entire evasion mechanic and
The invasion mechanic in Tekken is something that needs fixing. Overall.
I agree.
yeah.
Can we
yeah.
also talk about grounded 1+2?
Grounded 1+2?
What
be
the
honest,
fuck?
I don't really use that move. That's a shame. I don't use that move.
There's not really
It's
a
a
reason.
35 frame slow mid knockdown wall spread move.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I do use it as Oki. I do use it where I jump up in the air, land on someone, I'm plus, and it's like, guess my 50-50 because you tech rolled. Because that's the only time you're plus, by the way, guys. It's like,
Would it be actually too much if we gave armor to this move?
actually, when you think about it, no.
I don't see the problem.
Actually, no.
It'd be fine.
It's slow as
zero on
fuck.
block. It's 0 on
It is
block.
0 on block. Could you imagine if they made it also an armored wall bounce?
That would be.
That would be obnoxious. My
Yeah,
point.
the
Yeah.
wall bounce is a bit too much.
Yeah, of
The
course
armor-
it's too much, but you know.
I mean, the only one who wants who eat this mid option are the ones that don't know that after charged back 2 or forward 4, if they eat the giant press, the only thing
Yeah.
that's guaranteed if they don't do a spring kick is the 2. The mid option is not guaranteed.
No, true.
No, of course not. But that's also another thing I'd like to address is that when I do back 2 and it hits, I would like to know that my frog splash into grounded 2 is always guaranteed.
That's
rather than
does
sometimes.
anybody have any info on when that is or is not guaranteed? Does anybody understand that better
I have
than
found
just the
that it's
fucking dice?
It's more than when you hit them as deep enough as you
Yep.
can.
That is
If
a
you
fact.
hit them quite far, it's
Yeah.
never guaranteed.
Okay.
But if you hit them where you land on their legs, it's always guaranteed. I have had people where that isn't the case though, where I hit them quite deeply and they stand up and block it and launch me. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
either
Yeah.
this is online or this is
No, you
this
can
is something
avoid.
in fiction.
You can avoid the 2, the grounded 2, if you
Spring
have
kick.
spring kick.
Yeah.
And the animation is
Yeah.
then different. If you see
Okay.
them somehow bounce back up after the giant press, then you know the 2 is guaranteed.
Okay, yeah, well, there you go then. That type has given us information that even I don't know. You know, sometimes I don't know things, obviously. That's the good thing about these chats. It's like when someone does a spring kick, even Gigas has that mechanic. If you do a spring kick when, for example, Leroy does down forward 3-1 into the grounded punches as a wall ender, if you do the spring kick at that moment, you take what 4 points less damage.
Yeah,
And
because
that
of the
goes for
scaling.
anyone that, yep, that goes for anyone that has the exact same identical spring kick to Gigas, which is, I believe Miguel and Yoshi. I think other characters have it too, but I can't name them off the top of my head right now.
I think Paul as
if
well,
Pygmy
right? No,
is
no,
in
no.
the
Paul
chat, you
doesn't.
can help
Paul
me.
doesn't. Paul doesn't.
I don't think Paul has it.
It is like the cross chop, right? The cross chop kind of spring
I think
kick.
it's cross chop where you get the guaranteed if
Jab.
you jab, you get a launcher.
Do you
Yeah.
guys always also struggle with hitting an opponent out of like a cross chop or a spring kick with a jab? Or am I the only one who?
What, when they do it to you?
No, I feel like Gigas' one jab is really high, the hitbox. So a lot of
The
times
hitbox on our one jab is very high. It's why
Oh.
2-1 is a better option.
very
Yeah.
hard to float people from cross jobs and stuff.
Agree. There is
mean-
also something else that people should lab when they're using Gigas. There is other moves in the game that are -10, which have quite obnoxious pushback that only R2-1 can punish because they are either quite low to the ground or they're quite far away. R2-1
Oh, yeah.
has better range than R1.
I mean, speaking of spring kicks, if you have your wall ender and you know he's gonna spring kick, just sidewalk left and go for 4-2 down
Sidewalk
1
left,
golem 1.
4-2 down 1, golem 1. Yep.
Yep.
Every time.
I think
time.
we
Well,
all-
you know,
that
you know,
that
you know
happens.
that. You know that Fakumram stupid parry setup that down forward 1-2-1.
Down forward
into-
1-2-1 into parry.
Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
you can step it both sides. If you step it sidestep right or sidewalk right, you get
This
4-2
yeah.
down 1 golem 1.
Golem 1,
If
yeah.
if you step it to the left, you get 4-2 down 1 overkill, but it's actually a side throw. And depending on if they get up,
Can I
by
just say
holding
one
back.
thing about Gigas' side throws? I actually really like one of his side throws where he lifts you up and just slams you to the floor.
Yeah, he's like,
that one looks
yeah.
trash!
That was what
That one
I
looks
was about to
fucking
say.
amazing.
That one is amazing.
I love that one.
Because
one is
that
amazing.
thing, because that side throw, if they get up by holding back one will launch them. If they get up by tapping up,
Yep, if they
down
get up,
two
yep,
will launch
yep,
them.
every time. I think
Every
back
time.
to if Wood 4 should be cancelable. I'm sorry, Frosty, but I disagree with you. And to someone that commented in Ficus's YouTube channel quite recently where they said back 2 should have armor, you smoke crack. Like a lot of it. A lot of it. And I'm sorry, and if you don't like it, I'm at VirusFT on Twitter if you want to have a debate about it. I'm here all day, man. But if you want back 2 to have armor, you are smoking so much crack that I want some.
It's a 40 damage mid. Both are 40 damage.
It's a 40 damage mid, and if you are asking to cancel it or have it have armor properties, I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Can we also talk about one thing? It tracks hard.
It very yeah. In season 3, when
tracks-
Gigas got down forward 4-1+2, and while standing 2-3 being hit confirmable and shit like that, there was a stealth buff which allowed back 2 fully charged and forward 4 fully charged to have tracking properties where to the point where you can't actually walk it on reaction, you have to walk it on read. I personally feel that stealth nerfs slash stealth buffs also shouldn't be a thing in the game. I feel that if you are going to buff and nerf something, it should always be recorded and documented.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but
Because I'd like to know that this
is
exists.
very transparent in pretty much anything they do. So
Yeah.
that's
Also,
I think they
speaking
just do things because they can. I'm sorry, but I'm just looking at back 1+2 being a counter hit launcher and it makes me feel sick.
Yeah, same. Look at that shit.
also when
I'm sorry, but this was one of my buff ideas. I like throwing out random ideas. Some of them make sense, other than because I'm like, I just feel like they just sound cool. And this was one of those, this sounds amazing! And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, it does, it looks cool, it's quite slow, it makes sense, but also when you consider Gigas' damage, it's like, that looks AIDS.
Yeah.
I have that with them. I have that with the tracking on the Goliath too, the high unblockable. Like
Ooh.
if you hit back 2 at the wall and people just immediately get up and then start the sidewalk and the
It's because it's got homing.
yeah, but it
unblockable
homes
side
to Gigas' backside. It's like
That's because it
crazy.
actually has got homing, it's just you can't see it
Sidestep
because
2 has
it's unblockable.
also homing. Sidestep 2 has
Yeah.
also homing.
Yeah, true,
yeah.
true.
Sidestep 2 is a shit move, but also very, very good if you know how to use it.
It can crush mids at moments.
Dude, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna quote my mentor here. It never ever surprises me how much Sidestep 2 crushes and evades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That move is
you disappear.
fucked.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not there
iframe.
anymore.
Yep.
You,
It's
instant transmission Goku shit right there.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
like honestly, Sidestep 2 as an optional select for certain strings is already obnoxious, but the fact that sometimes it crushes everything and sometimes it doesn't is another inconsistency buff that we need to see fixed.
Yeah, Frosty also says Sidestep 2 is so inconsistent yet so beautiful. I agree.
Yep,
I think
yep,
it's
I
because
agree,
the
I agree.
hitbox is so fucking high.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is really high.
There is some things that I would like to talk about, which is Sidestep 2 and down back 2. There is so much debate on both these moves being reactable because they're quite slow. This is very true. But when you've played Gigas for so long, or played against the Gigas for so long, sometimes these two moves look very identical to other moves. Does anyone agree with this?
Yeah.
I can
down
agree
back
with
two,
that.
back
Yeah.
one.
Down back 2, back
Yep.
1, especially that one.
That
Yep,
can catch people if people duck down back 2 on reaction and they notice it. I mix it up with back 1 and you get a launcher like half of the time.
My point.
Yeah.
It looks so identical to moves that people were like, "Oh, but you can react to it offline." Like, yes, you can. But when you look at matchups, like for example, as I said in our last video, Ficus, as you can agree, when Doltering was still using down back 2 raw
Yeah.
offline versus another Korean, who I said in our last video, Koreans naturally are meant to have quite high reactions when it comes to this, well, or are seen as having quite high reaction speeds when it comes to playing offline Tekken, which is why they were considered for quite a while as the best Tekken players on the planet. He was still using down back 2 like
He
it was
didn't give
nothing.
a
He was
fuck.
like pop.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck because down back 2 looks so similar to certain moves that Gigas has in his arsenal that you need to take that into consideration when you're talking about Gigas, because there are so many moves that look very identical to other moves that I feel works in Gigas' game plan, which is block or don't block, because his mind games really are quite strong.
Yeah, it
Also, on
does.
top of that, Gigas has the best ground game in the whole game. Stay grounded, eat excavator for 35 damage. Stay
Yep.
longer grounded, eat up forward 1+2 and grounded 2 for even more damage.
Yep. Back 1 as well if you try to stand up when you're back turned.
Yep. That shit will
Um,
gonna hit you. That's gonna hit you.
Down back 2, back 4 into down 2 is guaranteed if it hits them quite deeply in back turned, I believe, guys. Back 4, down 2. I
could be
believe so.
so.
Or back 4 if they try to stand up, down 2 just launches them
Down 2,
immediately.
yeah. That is true.
Yep, because I've seen Gigasthiccas do it quite often with his forward 2 setup, where if they stay grounded, if he back fours them into down 2 and they stand up when the back 4 hits, the down 2 immediately launches them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff. Gigas actually has got quite a great ground game, and I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but probably some of you will. Is Gigas' wall game is one of the strongest I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
done.
yeah.
His wall game makes me feel ill.
You notice that when you play wallless against when playing with wall, like sometimes an opponent can destroy me on wallless, and then with a wall, it's the other way around.
But don't get this wrong though, guys. Gigas isn't a slouch when there is no wall.
He can space
Gigas
the
has
fuck
still
out
got
of
good.
you.
He can space the fuck out of you. Gigas isn't a slouch when there is no rules, but when there is walls, Gigas is strong. When there's a wall break, Gigas is very strong.
Yeah.
When there's a floor break, Gigas makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Don't
Gigas
forget,
makes me feel sick.
counter hit down
Gigas-
back 2 becomes a launcher.
Exactly.
Yeah, down back 2 is a launcher.
On Forgotten Realm,
While standing 4-2.
4-2 is a 13 frame
Launcher.
floor break launcher. Just remember that. That means if I duck anything, if I block anything minus 13, that's the forces crouch, etc., or I'm ducking, you probably will die. Gigas' damage is something that, in my opinion, if it wasn't for the season 3 bus where everyone gets amazing wall carry,
Facts.
it would still be the
my
strongest
God,
in the game.
Yes.
Also
It would
with
still be the strongest in the game.
Yeah.
also with the Goliath stance and the fact that your normal throw side switches, you always have your opponent with the back. to the
Do
wall.
you know what?
Always.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. Overkill is shit. Yes, it is. It's 1+2. Everyone fucking knows it. But it
Yeah.
switches sides. It puts Gigas at optimal range. It's the break that everyone wants to break. And if they don't break it, lol. It also is one of those throws that, for some reason, if you put it in a situation where it will interrupt certain strings, it will always win. Does anyone else experience this type of thing?
Sometimes,
Like,
not
you
consistent,
interrupt
but I know where you're coming from.
Not
yeah.
consistently, no. But if I interrupt someone doing certain things, I know they're going, for example, a Mishima, I know they're going to come up to me and electric me or hell sweep me, and I overkill. I know they're either doing 2 or they're doing 4-1, whatever, depends on the character.
Yeah.
But I know they're not pressing 1+2. And
Oh,
it
no,
always
no.
depends on your opponent's reaction speed. Overkill is still a good throw, and I feel that overkill, people ask for
A second
a
grab.
throw mix-up. Exactly, a throw mix-up when it comes to Gigas. And I'm sorry, but I'm probably the only Gigas main that ever says this, but I don't feel Gigas needs an extra throw. What about you guys? How do you feel?
Okay, who's
Maybe
first?
Only
Who's first?
only if the throw forces Goliath and doesn't do any damage.
That. I
That
feel
would be
if
cool.
Gigas got a second throw, I feel it should be a throw that does 0 damage, gives us bare plus frames. For example, he picks you up off the floor, or picks you up and just throws you, and all of a sudden starts walking at you, and you
Yeah.
can't do shit.
Oh, that
Nothing.
would be so
You can't do
badass. You made me
fuck all.
come.
Like that, in my opinion, would still be very fucking strong. Don't get me wrong, Overkill would still be busted.
Yeah.
Because you need to understand that Overkill is one of the strongest throws in the game,
It is.
regardless. Because Giant Swing can still be tech throw.
Yes.
Or I believe 35 or 40 damage.
40 or something like that.
40.
Yeah.
There we go. 40 damage. But Overkill is one of the strongest get throws in the game at 55 damage that you cannot tech throw.
And
It's
11
all
frames.
guaranteed. At 11 frames, exactly.
Comes
At
down
11
so
frames.
fast. Like you can do it after
Exactly.
your one jab, and the only thing you risk is
Now-
getting jabbed.
Exactly. Now put this into context. Gigas, for example, Gigasthiccas does this a lot. If you want to go back and watch all this shit, he does this a lot. I do it a lot. In fact, I have a reward thing in my channel where it's like, pinball the opponent for at least 4 seconds in the game. 4 seconds. Could you imagine getting back 2'd for 4 seconds?
That's a wet
Like-
dream.
Exactly. Gigas is game plan of making you press or don't press is bar none one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
When you start respecting Gigas, you die.
Yeah.
Now imagine
yeah.
Gigas with a throw game when you start respecting him.
Nah,
Now that
I don't agree.
Imagine you're back to the wall and Gigas goes, right, you got overkill or you got this mix up where I go into this stance or I got a 15 damage throw that allows me to be at +8 afterwards. Or I got another wall splatting throw that does 0 damage, but when it wall splats you I get guaranteed damage. It's like, Gigas does not need another throw. Gigas needs inconsistency buff.
if they decide to give Gigas another throw, then in neutral it should do 0 damage and be 0 after the throw connects. But if the wall is behind them, it should at least high wall split.
His 50-50 is pretty crap. Frosty, I'm so sorry, man, but his 50-50 at the wall is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if any Gigas mains can agree or disagree with me, but if you get Golemed, or is it Goliath? I keep getting the stances mixed up. Goliath, there we go. If you get Goliath at the wall, it's like, that's some scary shit. Like, you have a mid that I option select ducking, by the way, guys, always.
Yeah.
But how about fuzzy guarding it or doing it on reaction? Because you can hit confirm, you can visually confirm the hit sparks.
You can. This is true. You can, but
I don't see it happening. Even
I've
high level
never.
play.
Dude, I've never seen it in high level play. I play offlane. I've never seen a
Which
single
is
person.
weird because
Dude.
if you lab it, I'm pretty sure you can avoid it like 80% of the time when it's a pure 50-50.
Exactly, but that's the thing. Who in the world has labbed Gigas to that extent?
I didn't. I even
Gigas
played this
mains,
character.
You labbed your own character to that extent, where you can duck.
No.
You're unblockable on
Most
reaction.
definitely
I
not.
am.
I mean,
I have.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I play mainly offline, and I haven't done that. Like, honestly, guys, seriously, like, you cannot, on reaction, 99.9% of the time, duck the unblockable.
Oh,
You
you can.
can't.
Oh, you can. Definitely.
You can? You sure?
Yeah. I'm
You
pretty
sure?
sure. Yeah. Visually.
Oh, okay.
You need to be sharp as hell, but it's not
course.
impossible.
Of course.
Okay,
But when
the
you
probability is super low, but it's possible. With a
course it's
lot
possible.
of training.
Of course it's possible. It's very possible. This is something that I'm not going to disagree with. And by the way, Emperor is ruining K-Win.
I mean, I'm enjoying the
watching
show.
it now.
I'm
I
enjoying.
am as
Oof.
I love the Emperor's Gigas.
I love it too.
It is very, very good.
Going back to
but-
the throw. Going back to the throw real quick.
Okay.
If they're gonna give him a throw, then it should be more of a, like I said, zero damage. The pushback should be like the pushback of back 2 charge, and it should act more as a get off me tool. And if
Kinda
they
like
then
Steve-
move,
Yeah,
if
I
if
agree,
they move,
I agree,
because
I
if you
agree.
do back 2 and they try to sidestep back, 4-4-2 will actually hit them.
That is
Frosty,
actually pretty nice.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. Frosty, compared to other characters 50-50, they are far superior to Gigas. Every character is superior to Gigas. You need to understand that. Every
Yeah.
character in the game.
It is
is
not going to
superior
help
to
you if you're
Gigas.
going to compare Gigas with the rest of the cast.
You can't.
It's
You can't
only
compare
going to
a
make you
character like
depressed.
Gigas with exactly that. It will only make you depressed. When it comes to this game, there are characters in this game where it's like, if you try and compare Gigas to that character, it's only going to end bad for you trying to compare it. When I said before, when it comes to tier list of matchup analysis to Gigas versus this character, it's not, oh my god, this means that Gigas always wins. It's not that. It's never that. It's always that the top part where it's like, oh, this matchup is 8 for Gigas, to the bottom part where this matchup is tolerable. It's like, if I was going against this person, for example, if I go against someone where this matchup is tolerable, it's not that it's in favor of Gigas. It's just, it's one of our easier matchups.
Yeah.
For example, Brian. Brian does not have
Brian.
a low that knocks Gigas down, so we do not have to give
Exactly,
a shit
we
about
don't have
hatch
to
and
duck.
tick.
Yeah.
Gigas is a character that I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't play Gigas and you fight against the Gigas a lot, use a lot of lows because Gigas characters don't like to duck a lot.
Yo, very quickly, did you see that backdash into down 2? Oh!
Which one? I'm quite delayed because I'm using mod view again.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that was sick. Running,
Yeah, I did.
Wo's running 3. His running 3 just got whoop.
Damn.
I see it. I need to see it. I'm quite slow. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. You'll see it.
It's-
You'll see it. You'll
You're
see it.
forgiven.
It's fine.
I am forgiven. Yay!
But
Duck
Frosty
hunt.
Kick also says, can we make his 50-50 as good as theirs? The only thing about the 50-50 I agree on is his stance.
But all 50-50s are kind of different in the game.
Hatchet
They're not-
kicks are fine if you just block. Hatchet kicks are fine and move.
Hatchet
move
kicks
faster.
is very telegraphed though. Like
It
they
is very
they
telegraphed.
always do
is
it at the
plus
same.
what? 5 now? It's plus 5?
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
5.
Yep.
Plus 5. Just block. Honestly, just block. When it comes to Gigas versus Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's one of the matchups there. It's like, it's probably in Gigas' favor. It's probably more likely in Gigas' favor.
I agree. I never
find
really
Brian
had
a
an issue
very,
against
very
Brian.
Easy, very easy. But that's also because think about how many Bryans you faced online. You faced
I
billions of
played
Bryans.
Dinosaurs Brian offline. I wasn't very good. I just started with Gigas, guys, and you know when you just start with Gigas, it's like, meh, your Gigas is alright, but it's not that great. But
Yeah.
I still took Dinosaur, of all people, one of the best Bryans in the UK, for example, probably in the EU. I took him to final round each time, and the only reason why I lost against him was because my ability to optimize combo damage, and punish optimally and miss inputs cost me the game.
Oh,
When you come to
that
think
sucks.
of it, where I am myself nowhere near the level of player Dinosaur is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I brought him to final round each time, you gotta understand that when it comes to that, you gotta take matchup into consideration that Brian versus Gigas is probably more in Gigas' favor than it is in Brian.
I mean,
Because
what?
What the
people
fuck?
go-
What the fuck is Brian gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. That is.
Brian is
Exactly that.
Brian is
But
John
down
Smith.
three-
That's
Four
also
has
that's
a
also a
disgusting-
problem. That's also a problem that lies with Brian. Like, what the
Yes.
fuck is he gonna do? Like that's a really big issue for a lot of Brian players. Like,
Right. Right.
like they really rely on the counter hits,
Yes, to do.
and
Yep.
their only scary low is hatchet kick. But it's
Yep.
it's very telegraphed and it's borderline reactable. So
Yep,
it's-
borderline.
Borderline. It is.
so basically Brian only
Good.
becomes
Free
really
running.
really scary when they can do the
Taunt
taunt.
upper, taunt
Exactly.
back four,
Yeah.
stuff
And-
like that.
And I'm gonna be saying this really weirdly, even for Gigas. But Brian has linear tools.
Yeah. I that is true.
Yeah.
Gigas can still, although people say Gigas has a really shit step, you shouldn't step with Gigas. Like, it shouldn't stop you from doing so. Because if Gigas ever gets to your back,
Oof.
you die.
Yeah.
That is death
Die.
incarnate.
I'm
You-
sorry, I don't care if you main whoever. You can main Akuma, you can main the strongest character in the game, you can main whoever you want. But if Gigas gets to your bum bum, it's like, lol, rape is happening. You are getting raped. Like, you get what, 112 damage guaranteed in your
Yeah.
back? It's like,
Also, do not forget, for whatever reason, Brian has the most struggle jabbing out Gigas of back 2.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brian's jab is in the
Brian
game
can do
one of the
entire
highest.
jab string can just completely whiff.
Get
like,
back
point
to that
blank.
wood, yeah, every time. Every
You can
time.
full charge, he's gonna react to it, try to jab, and he will lose.
Yeah. He will whiff it. Yeah. This is true. He will whiff it. Damn.
I don't like that per se when that happens as a Gigas player.
Oh, that you randomly high crush?
Well, yeah, because I feel he should be rewarded for registering. Hey, that's back 2. I should interrupt this.
Nope.
Of course, he should interrupt it with Talon is muted. I'm not sure whether he knows that.
Oh boy.
Maybe his kids or something.
Oh yeah,
well,
that might be. Yeah.
But of course, he should react properly by doing a mid or dig jabbing or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Can can I just point out something? We are watching K-Wiz vs Emperor, and there was a video that K-Wiz put up that Gigas does not need buff, and there has been quite a lot of people in the Gigas community that kind of found this as a personal attack, and
No, it's
you
not.
need to
She's
understand. Exactly. You need to understand quite a few things. One, at the end of the video, he did say, "I'm sorry, Gigas mains, this wasn't a personal attack on you, blah blah blah. Please take that into consideration." But everything he says is correct. Gigas does not need buffs. He needs inconsistency fixed. He doesn't need buffs. Because at the end of the day,
we can call the podcast this. This is the name of the first podcast.
Yep. Gigas does not need buffs. I'm sorry if any Gigas mains disagrees with me. Like I said before, my Twitch is @virusft, my old gamer tag. It will come up as Talon, picture of me and my kid during lockdown. If you want to have an argument about this, I'm fully down, but understand one thing. If I don't reply to you instantly, it's because I'm dealing with my kids, which is more important than yourself, and your argument. But what K-Wiz is saying is not just his opinion, but is the opinion of not just himself, but a lot of pros offline. Dinosaur included, which when it comes to UK Tekken offline, Dinosaur is one of those people that is called the encyclopedia of Tekken. And I know this sounds weird to most people, but when it comes to Tekken knowledge, literally Dinosaur is the guy that you talk to. And he feels that Gigas, if he was buffed, would be very fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I've heard him talk about it in the Blasted Salami podcast.
Yeah,
same. Exactly.
It was very,
I know Dinosaur
very
quite
interesting
personally, and he does feel that Gigas is quite obnoxious, and the way he played against me versus Gigas, I found more respect out of anyone I've ever played, even my mentor, from himself. And I understand why, as I've gone along in my Gigas journey, being a Gigas player, as to why he respected certain moves in certain situations. And for example, this is just an example, down 4 into while standing 1. How many times has this move evaded hide?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about down 4 into up 4-3?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Like, why has Gigas, with someone who has exceptional range, exceptional damage, exceptional, well, mediocre poking, but still great range on that poking, got obnoxious crushing properties on moves that shouldn't have that obnoxious crushing property?
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Like, for example, I'm seeing K-Wiz, one of the best players in the UK, getting flexed right now by the Emperor.
Isn't this the same guy who completely beat up Main Man?
Main Man, it is. Yeah, that is
Emperor. So funny. Like he
I've said a million times.
He consistently ducked Hayachi's down back 2 and punished it like 100% of the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
100%.
No. This is what I've said before, and this is not an attack on Main Man. Before anyone tries to tag him or interrupt, like, this is not an attack on Main Man. I have a lot of respect for Main Man, what he does for the community, but his approach on his personality towards the game, where he's like, this character blah blah blah, this character blah blah blah. It's like, it's the Mishima approach to the game. Does anyone understand that? The Mishima approach to the game. And it's like, not only that, but this is not an insult to the Main Man. I'm sorry if he gets this and thinks that's an insult. I'm sorry, it's not. But he is still technically an online player. Not all in all, but he is technically an online player.
I mean, most of his experience is from online, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Most of his experience of the game is from online personality. But when you see the Emperor using our main and ducking and launching down back 2 from Hayachi on reaction every time,
that's God.
It's not just godlike, but you gotta understand one thing. This is the difference between online player and offline.
Offline, yeah.
Exactly that. Down back 2 from Hayachi, it's not something you can react to all the time, but if you are reacting to it and you have the consistency to react to it,
50% of health bar gone.
exactly
Yeah.
that. 50% of your health bar is immediately gone.
Yeah.
Like, my point, Gigas has the ability to, if you punish someone optimally, and I say optimally, not like, oh, I launch you, I do 4-2-1, screw into that, into excavator. I mean optimally. I mean like, oh, I know there's a wall break, I know there's this, I know this, etc. Putting all this into context. You launch someone, they are probably not going to be able to come back from that launch.
That is true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the
There is
Okay,
no
after- if
way
you land one
someone
combo-
is going to come back from a while standing free launch. That's optimally with walls.
It's
Someone
fucked.
correct me if I'm wrong. Someone,
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
No, that's what I
Like,
wanted
no
to
matter
say.
what, that's 100 damage plus.
Oh, guys,
with
I'll be
wall.
right back. Be
But
back in
that's not just the optimal stuff. I find that a lot of games I play with Gigas, like you get one launch at the start of the round, you get him to the wall, you apply your mix up, you kill him, and
Exactly that. I feel
that's,
biggest is
I think no joke, like 1 in 7 rounds goes exactly like that
exactly
online,
like that.
and
But-
it's
but I'm gonna
ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to say Phosphorus. That's season 3.
Yeah,
Are
we talking about the power creeping
yeah,
shit?
but not.
I feel the buffs that everyone, period, anyone that's watching this, the buffs that your character has received in season 3 has kind of destroyed Tekken, because it isn't no longer you guess this, you guess that, you die. It's more, I launched you, guess my mix up, or
Death.
you're dead.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And when it comes to Gigas, it's not just this. I have said this to Ficus in the last stream that we had together, which is, if I down to you into the wall, and you wake up and you press, and I forward 1+2 you, you're dead.
Practically, yeah. Yeah.
And like my mentor said, don't forget that Rage Art at the end of combos makes his combat potential very, very high. It does. I'm sorry, but every launcher, no matter what launcher it is, 100 plus minimum damage. If he does, for example, down 2, 4-2-1, down back 3-2, 4-2-1, Rage Art. That's the ready plus 100.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Every time. There is no doubt about it.
Also
I've done to my mentor 100, like many times. I've done it to Ficus. Forward 3-2, hit,
That is
back
that-
2
I'm
fully
that.
charged as a wall break, into forward 2-1, down back 3-2, Rage Art. You're dead.
Yeah, I died. I
I'm
died.
sorry,
I
you
exploded.
That's 146 damage. Anyone that wants to check that, by all means, go
Also-
ahead.
also the
146.
Also the mileage you can get from the wall ender that ends in the flip the table mix up.
Yep.
Like
Oh,
that's ridiculous. Like you get
Yep.
pretty much 70 or 80% from like a regular combo. Like
Yep. Exactly.
it's so stupid.
If you lay there, you die. But here's what I need to say about anyone that doesn't main Gigas and plays against the Gigas that does 1, down 1, 4, while standing 4-2 into flip the table or anything otherwise. Biggest has actually labbed this on stream. The only thing from this point that is guaranteed is 1-2, 2-1, or overkill.
Yep.
You can down to, this is from Gigas' point of view, which is 15 frames by the way. You have optimally, I believe it was 18 frames that we found Ficus, right? That
Yeah,
you have
18.
to interrupt Gigas.
Yeah.
18 frames to interrupt Gigas after 1 down 1 while standing 4-2 into excavate, into
Table flip,
down
table
back
flip.
1+2.
Yeah.
Table flip. You have quite a lot of frames to interrupt him before
So
he
if you
like
hold
this.
back, you have 18 frames to interrupt the flip the table.
Yes.
You have about 18 frames.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
exactly
okay.
what Phosphorus said. You have about 18 frames to interrupt Gigas before he applies Oki, but you have to keep in mind that overkill 1-2 and 2-1 are one of the
Biggest.
options that are uninterrupted.
Did you see that?
I saw
Yeah.
that side grab into back 1. Is that guaranteed?
If they hold back.
Side grab into back one. If it depends. What
they
side
hold
grab was
back.
it? I'm quite delayed.
Oh,
What side grab was it?
Oh my god, I saw it.
Was it the side grab where he slams him onto the
Yeah,
floor
that
with
is
his head?
the cool
Yeah, that's-
side
it's
grab.
If
guaranteed.
you hold back
It's
one is
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Oh,
It's
If
boy.
they tap up,
Oh
if they
god,
tap
yo,
up,
Tupac,
back
thank
one
you so
will
much for
whip,
the
but
subscription,
down
man.
two will
Yep.
launch then.
3 months.
Yep. I
guys-
feel that one of Gigas' side grabs are very, very underrated. Which is his one where he picks you up into the air and just slams your face onto the floor.
Yeah.
Back one, as Piper said, back one and down two are one of the two optimal ways to make someone whiff.
I'm gonna get.
I
a
love
nice-
how down back 1+2 is now called flip the table. Yeah, of course
Yeah.
it is. It's called flip the table. It always has been.
Yeah. That is always
I'm-
the table flip. It's not down back 1+2. Who says that? Man.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another ice pack for my cheek.
Oh yeah. No
Also,
problem.
let's
up.
not forget, if you're in rage and Gigas does his 13 frame while sending Punisher and you hold back, and you have a read that he's gonna go for rage drive, do not hit rage art if you don't have a high rage art or a low crushing rage art, because every mid rage art will get cancelled out
Cancelled.
of it.
Yeah, that is true. Oh my god, you're setting up this guy mad hard, by the way. I love it.
Yesterday I played better against him, but I hate this matchup.
Oh yeah, I understand. It's kind of a hard matchup, yeah.
Even though I was winning like 5
Speak-
or 6 wins more than him, I still was salty.
Speaking of matchup,
By the way,
there
did
are
you
four of
just
us
see that?
play-
Did you just see that? Down
Yeah.
back 2 again?
That is crazy.
Grounded 2?
Yeah, the
Speaking-
grounded two. Yeah,
speaking of-
yeah.
Speaking of matchups, though, guys.
Yes.
There's 4 of us that play Gigas at an optimally high level. Let's be honest. There's some of us that play him on okay level, high level. It depends on the situation. Who would you feel, if it came to it, who is the worst and the best optimal matchup for Gigas? Period.
Can I start this?
Yeah, go ahead, Ficus, man. I
Okay.
would love to hear your opinion on this.
Okay.
I'll go last, actually, guys. I'll go last. I'll go
Alright.
last.
Alright. Okay, bet. The worst, easily Jin.
I'm sorry, but I
Easily,
agree.
Jin is
I agree.
so obnoxious versus in this matchup.
In fact, I'm going to say this right now. My mentor, who is in the chat, used to main Jin for 20 years. And every time he picks Jin, although I'm alright with the matchup, it's still fucking cancerous.
Yeah.
It still makes me want to cry. It still makes me want to punch him, but I love him to pieces, so I'm never going to hit him.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Also, for you, the question that got here is, for you, who is the worst matchup and who's the best matchup for Gigas? I said the worst is Jin. Like, you have everyone like here in the middle, and then you have Jin off the screen up high there. I fucking hate Jin in the matchup.
Oh, I really don't struggle against
Oh,
Jin as much. Also, if you look at the world win rate, Gigas is pounding Jin pretty badly. But I think
But
that's
that's
Jin.
the thing that we need to take into consideration, guys. When it comes to world win rate, ignore it. Because when it comes to Gigas, not everyone in the world has optimal matchup experience against Gigas. Because let's be honest, there is probably less than 1,000 of us worldwide.
Yeah, so yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
There is probably
Pretty much.
less than 1,000 of us worldwide, and the matchup experience versus Gigas, and I don't know if my mentor's still in the chat and he can vouch for me with this. My mentor's been playing Gigas for over a year and a half with Kazuya, and recently I've been showing him things that I've been taking away from him because I find them not like how can I say this? Not something that I would do normally because I find it quite obnoxious. I feel that when I'm playing against my mentor and I do things like 2-1, backdash, back 3, backdash, and he does anything, he immediately gets launched. He was like, that's quite obnoxious to the point where when you're using Gigas' range to his advantage, Gigas is one of those characters, like, when he has the range advantage, he is one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah, okay.
Range-wise.
Range-wise, yeah.
Range-wise. When you have that range, Gigas wins. because Gigas has the best range in the game up until fucking
Obnoxious,
Rum
can
got
you actually
released,
lap this shit once?
That'd be great, actually.
No,
Yeah.
I meant what just happened in the
On the screen, yeah, I saw that as well. This, right? What just?
Exactly.
What the hell? Okay, yeah, we have to.
My mentor just said that's because there's a lot of shit gins, and even good gins. How many of them know Gigas?
Yeah, exactly.
This is true.
Yeah.
How many people know Gigas? There is. I'm gonna say this right now. In the UK alone, outside of myself, my mentor, Fergus isn't really in the UK, but let's include the island for this.
All right.
Fergus, Signal, and a few other people. How many people know Gigas optimally?
That's a good question.
Optimally. Do you guys know Gigas optimally?
I can
Hell
say
no.
that I know
Hell
quite
no.
some shit, but not like 100 or 90%. But I can say
With
that nothing
rate-
surprises me with Gigas. Like, oh, okay, I know this will happen, or okay, this will happen.
Okay, right. So there's this thing that people don't know that I don't know if a lot of people in this stream know. But did you know if you get someone back to the wall and you down forward 1 into backdash, if they jab, you can 1-2 them because down forward 1 has pushback.
Oh, that's a
Yeah, my
good
friend,
flow chart.
this one
I'll
was
remember that.
one.
That is actually
It's
funny.
a good flowchart. I remember
Yeah.
that. Jin without matchup knowledge is still gonna die just like cats. Exactly.
But to come back to the question posed earlier about the character.
Yeah, the worst and the
Yeah.
best matchups.
I think a good Steve can dismantle Gigas pretty badly with
To be
his.
honest with you though,
Ooh.
Phosphorus, like, what character can Steve not dismantle?
I mean, Steve is all around pretty strong.
Yoshi's
I'm gonna
flash
say this
is
right now,
tricky.
and I don't care if anyone disagrees with me. Steve is borderline broken.
Oh, Steve is fucking ridiculous, man. Like,
In Raid, Steve
I
is
can
one of
hear
the
the
most
rage.
busted characters I've ever seen.
why does he
like,
have
in
the
Raid-
rage drive? Why?
I'm sorry, but that rage
Oh,
drive
the
needs
Sonic
to
fan
either
rage
be-
drive.
So stupid.
That
That
Sonic
rage
fan.
drive needs to be slower. I'm sorry, anyone that doesn't agree with me, that rage drive needs to be fucking slower. How
it's
is
like-
that a 14 frame rage
It's
drive?
like 14 frames, right?
Yeah, it's mid 14
Yeah.
frames.
Pressure characters can steamroll Gigas. Pressure characters can only steamroll Gigas. For the simple fact is that the Gigas has allowed them to get into the optimal
Yeah.
zone to
Yeah.
do so.
Gigas
Um,
can zone very strong.
Pressure characters, exactly. Pressure characters are only good at close range, where Gigas is good at keeping out. If Gigas has allowed the pressure character to get in, Gigas needs to understand one thing. He needs to make the correct read to make sure that that pressure character is back at that optimal range where Gigas has control of the matchup.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Totally for me.
Julia, as my mentor has said, Julia is probably the worst matchup in the game for Gigas. In fact, I'd say arguably top 5 worst matchups in the game for Gigas. In bigs in general, actually.
Why is that? Because of the party crasher stuff? And,
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is
Or-
nothing that I can say that I don't know Gigas well enough, and my mentor does. But I've played Chicken Maru's Julia offline, and I know Julia quite well. To be honest, I do. I know her quite alright. But
Right.
when I played his Julia, it made me feel so sick that I got 5-0'd. Every time.
yeah, but
Every time, bro.
I feel like
I'm not a
Julia,
great player.
Julia
I'm not a
also
great player.
excels at the same range as Gigas does till a certain extent.
Exactly
I
that.
Yeah.
think.
That's it.
But she
That's
just
the
does it
problem.
better and is safer, shit like that.
What
And
Ficus just said.
you can't down 3+4. Well, you can, but it's
It's
gonna be
finicky.
safe for her anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. My mentor just said that I said that Bob gives me AIDS. Any Gigas main that disagrees with this isn't playing Gigas correctly. I'm joking, but hasn't played a good Bob.
I agree.
Bob,
You know, I just wanted to say I never had an issue against Bob, but I never faced against a strong Bob. So
I've
your
played
point
Root
exactly.
Kang's Bob. I've played Root Kang's Bob, guys, and he's probably one of the best Root Bobs in the UK. Probably you, I don't know, but when I've seen Bob played in the way that Bob can be played versus Gigas, there are things that Bob can do that makes the matchup very, very A. To the point where if Bob had a punch parry, I feel that this matchup would be fucking impossible.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Okay.
Like-
that's also because of the range, because he excels at the same range
That-
as Gigas does.
What Phosphorus just
And
said. He
that's
sells the
also
same
the
range that
problem with fucking Round is that he has also this amazing space control and that
Yeah.
good long range move, and that's why he's very tough for Gigas to deal with, in my opinion.
what Emu Faster just said in the chat, Bob's power crush. Crushes are jabs and high.
Oh, the
Everyone
belly
does.
one, right? The yeah.
Yep. But when Gigas only has a jab from 10 to 13, well, to 12 frame, it is quite a big impact.
Yeah.
Right.
It is quite a big impact. Because we have down 4, which will beat the power crush. Means the down 4 is 7 damage. Yay! Look at us. But we also have a jab, which gets crushed by his power crush.
Yeah,
That's not something. That's not something that
act-
makes or breaks the game. That's not something that makes or breaks the game. It's the fact that he's a diet Mishima where he can wave dash at us. He can pressure rush quite well because his strings are vile. His strings are quite good.
There are so
He's
many
crushed.
random lows in all the strings.
That he can
It's-
crush a lot of our shit.
Yeah,
He
the
can
crushing
crush a
I've
lot of our
seen.
shit.
The crushing I've seen, yeah.
He can crush a lot of shit. And the one thing that, when you combine all of this together, that makes or breaks the matchup is the fact that if we throw out a down back 2 and he ducks and launches it, he has got a 14 frame while stand launching.
Yep.
Yep,
So if we down back to him,
he
and
can
he
launch.
just randomly ducks and he blocks it, he launches it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Mufasa said, Bob is the fourth Mishima, and I feel if you kind of put him in that category of the fourth Mishima, he's one of the best Mishimas to fight against Gigas. Period.
Oh yeah, yeah.
'Cause
I can
what-
see that.
I would say he's the third Mishima because let's be honest, Jin's not a Mishima.
No, it's
It's not a
Nah,
Mishima.
that's not a machine.
The Warshed, Pygmy, you used to play Jin for 20 years. The only thing that he has that is equivalent to Mishima is a wave dash, a hell sweep, and an electric. He said the fifth Mishima. But again, it's like out of all the Mishimas, he's probably the best one to deal with us. But if he had a punch parry like Jin has, he'd be the worst matchup in the game.
Fair enough. I
Because
can see where this
He
is
has
going.
everything to deal with our matchup. He has everything to deal with our matchup. If Jin had anything that Bob has, I feel Jin would be 100% the worst matchup without question. But at the moment, Jin's only the worst matchup because he can parry anything in the game that we have and kill us. And he can control the neutral as well as we can.
Yeah.
If not better.
Alright guys, I might actually leave the podcast. I need to get my sister from work.
Oh shit.
Alright, type. Thank you.
For the rest of you in
It's a
the
pleasure,
chat,
man.
have fun. Jadir, still ban Norman please, and yeah.
Okay. No, thank you
See
so
ya,
much
guys.
for tuning in, man. You
Cool.
came in with the clutch, and you shared a lot of cool tech stuff I didn't even know, especially the side grab. So hey, thank you so much for tuning in, man. Has been a
Shout out
pleasure.
to Type though.
Yeah.
In the background, the guy releases more tech than me, Vickers, and anyone else does.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah.
If someone
100%.
is a lab
any
monster,
tech
it's
that we
Type.
have is from Type.
Yeah.
Type has all the tech for Gigas.
Also, whenever I open the Gigas Discord, like half of general chat is Type just
Yeah.
going at it.
Also
Great.
roasting people, man. Fuck you.
Okay, fuck you guys. I need to
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
thanks,
Type,
man.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, man.
But what are then the characters that you find very very advantageous in the matchup?
Very
Noctis.
advantageous. I'm sorry, and I know there's so many people, even Type, that disagrees with me in this. It's the Noctis matchup.
I said Noctis as well. Noctis,
Noctis.
free.
In fact, there is quite a few. I'm not gonna name them because obviously I don't want there to ever be beef between me and that person. But there is a Gigas player that has said that he feels the Gigas versus Noctis matchup is in Noctis' favor.
Could you explain why?
he said that there is things like down forward 1 crushing our jab, down forward 4-2 being something that beats our power crush, which is down 3+4 by anyone that wants to know. And these were the only things that I was given. But I'm gonna say this right now. At range, Gigas beats Noctis.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
100%. Anyone that disagrees with me hasn't played the matchup fluently, or hasn't experimented in the matchup fluently.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also don't want that person to feel attacked if they haven't done so.
No, of course
So
not.
don't feel this is a personal attack.
Yeah, 9 o'clock also says
down three-
Gigas can down 3+4 all his shit. Yeah, pretty much.
As my mentor said, Noctis dies to Gigas. Only his minor high crushing's down forward 1 gives him any hope. I agree, but I'm gonna shut this down right now. 2-1, although we are -5, and this is their argument by the way, you're -5 after 2-1, but hear me out. 2-1 shuts down forward 1's high crush. Like 2-1 for us as Gigas shuts down forward 1 high crush from
Facts.
Noctis.
True.
When someone says but you're -5, I'm gonna be honest, Gigas mains. When are you not -5? When are you not -6? When are you not -7?
-8,
Like-
-8, -9.
My
We're always
point,
minus,
man.
man.
You are probably the most turtle character in the game outside of Brian.
Yo, so Souls, thank you for the subscription. Holy fuck.
Who?
Yeah.
Gigas.
Yep, Gigas. I feel he's the most turtle character.
Do you feel like Gigas excels more at defending than offense?
Ooh.
Agree, 100%. I
find that difficult,
I know
though.
this is weird, but then again, I come from a play style where I play a defensive character a defensive mentor that I have myself adapted to be more defensive than.
Okay.
I feel again, that's what I said. Like, remember, pilot again, what I was saying previously in the podcast, which is my pilot experience for Gigas is that I feel Gigas optimally as a defensive character is very good.
Yeah, I agree. If I watch my own gameplay, if I added my own gameplay, I also see myself playing way more successful if I play defensively, zoning like poking and stuff like that from a distance, compared to me being offensive and overcommitting and fucking myself up being -9 already.
I feel like that's sort of the ultimate Gigas trap. It's so whatchamacallit? It's so you're so inclined to just push offense with Gigas with running 2 and the command throw and forward 4-2 and all your options from there that you sometimes forget how effective it is just to backdash a couple of times and use down 2 as the optimal.
Bro, backdashing a little bit
Okay.
and forward 4-2 as an example.
Right.
That shit works
there was
wonders.
a thing in here. There's a thing in the chat that says Gigas has no way to get in with Brian, but Brian can get away with stuff a lot more. Now there is things that I agree with this, where it's like certain things that are -14. Well, between -11 and -14 that are like Gigas only gets 1-2.
Right.
Now I agree with that. Like 31 damage. 31 or 32? Or 1-2? Someone to correct me. 31
yeah,
or
it's 31.
31?
It's 31.
31. Now, I agree that 31 damage isn't a lot, but when you have taken consideration of the range of that move, the knockdown properties of that
Especially
move,
the
and fact that it moves
knockdown.
back, especially the knockdown. You need to understand that knockdown in any fighting game
It's godlike.
is very good.
It's
Yeah.
godlike.
It is godlike. As soon as you're knocked down, it's like, holy fuck, I have to now guess the 50-50.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care where you are on the stage, running 2 and forward 2 and down back 2 is very, very annoying.
No, I agree.
Yeah? Running 2, forward 2, it's like, if I run into you when you stand up, I'm +7. Congratulations, you now have to guess.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
forward to you when you tech roll, congratulations, you've now hit a move and it's my turn.
Oh,
You
real
know what I
quick,
mean?
real quick, by the way, in the chat, 9 o'clock is gonna leave, but he's gonna make his mod public on his Twitter. So I highly recommend his Twitter for that mod because I covered it
100%.
on the video, and those mods are amazing to check out. So anyone,
Definitely.
go apeshit
Cool.
on his Twitter. And thank you so much for tuning
Today,
in, man.
I have to say one thing. As someone like myself who doesn't have quite the community behind him as Gigasthiccas does, the fact that Gigasthiccas has put my thoughts of buffs and nerfs and etc into Gigas, and you've made it as a mod, it's quite cool to see.
It really is.
It really is. It is really cool to see. Thank you for doing that, honestly. Forward 2, I thought it would be quite cool buff as a screw count airborne opponent, and when I look at it, I'm like, no, that's actually quite obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's really obnoxious.
Airborne is okay, but counter hit screw is kind of too.
Oh
OD.
no, that's worse. Kind of hit screws is worse.
So,
that would make Gigas too much.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How many characters? This is a good question. How many characters can change matchups by making a plus on block moves or launch punishment?
Yeah, and that's the whole point. What I was making earlier, that it's comparable to Yoshi's Flash, that it just throws all the game rules out of the window, and that it forces the opponent to really think about their offense in a really different way. Because
Right.
whenever I'm facing Yoshi, I'm always keeping in mind he can flash. That's 6 frames. I mean, after down back 2, I can press. So it changes my game plan. It changes up my offense, and the same thing should happen when people are facing Gigas. It's like whenever I see a pole just recklessly throwing out Death Fist or Rage Drive,
Mm-hmm.
you can just taunt and then punish, and it takes them quite a while to get used to not doing that and adjusting their game plan.
No, that's a fact. And you know, the big question also on this topic is how many players are actually able to adapt on, you know, not playing with the flowchart. And from what I know, versus Gigas, people are way too overconfident against him. So they're still gonna try the same flowchart. They're gonna try to, you know, it is always autopilot shit like that. But yeah, we can also be a bit
Although I
defensive.
feel like some characters autopilot more than others. Like I feel
Yes.
I
Facts.
feel like whenever I fight against somebody like Lei, I always feel like they're just doing their stuff.
Yeah.
Completely regardless of
By
what.
the way, guys, back 1 in Lei matchup is very, very good.
Yeah, against Steve as well.
Oh yeah, but
Against
back one in late because he
100%.
stays on the
I've
ground.
I've said this to my mentor 100 times. Back 1
Yo,
in the
Apex,
Steve,
thank you so much,
Steve
man.
matchup is very, very good.
Yeah, it just launches him randomly. But
Yep.
like when
I
they
also can't launch it because it's my
and they don't adapt to how I'm playing. While I am adapting to how they're playing, I always get sort of disappointed because they're just used to spamming their evasive shit and getting away with it, and then when it doesn't work, they just get angry.
Or they leave.
I don't want to shit on lay players, but some characters really reward characters for just flowchart.
No, but it's a
a
fact,
lot.
bro. One of the biggest flowcharts I know from Lei is like, what is that double? Is like up for 3+4 into back turn, the low, the like the fist low, and they do that like 2 times in a row. Like,
Oh yeah.
I can low parry that
Or-
shit, bro.
There's also this one string by Kazuya. I think it's like a 4-hit string.
Yeah,
and they
1, 2,
always-
4,
they
3 or
always
something.
Follow up by a dick jab, like
Dig jab. I did 1,
Always.
2, 4, 3 dig jab.
Yeah, that's the
1,
one.
2, 4, 3 dig jab. Me and my mentor crease at this. Like it's like
it's so
1, 2, 4, 3
stupid.
dig jab shouldn't even happen. Cause I swear it's quite minus after 1, 2, 4, 3.
Mm.
It's like every single Kazuya I play online is like down forward 1, 4 dig
Dig jab, yeah.
Yeah,
1, 2, 4, 3
Dig jab.
Dick jab.
Even my mentors in the chat is like 1, 2, 4, 3 dig jab, and he's like crying faces. It happens so much.
It's so stupid.
It happens so much.
I
It
mean,
does-
hey, it's a
it
free
happens
W for
quite
me,
a lot.
man. If you're not gonna adapt, alright, cool. Let me parry that
fact-
shit real quick.
Anyone that's watching this, I beg you, every time you fight a Kazuya that's quite low rank, if they do 1, 2, 4, 3, and you know they're gonna dick jab. Just delay hop kick them for maximum damage.
And disrespect.
Be like, big man, stop doing that, bruv. You fucking nerd. I've done it like 6 times, man. And you know the worst thing? I've done it in a matchup where the guy has still done the 1, 2, 4, 3 dick jab. It's like I've hop kicked it like 7 times, and the guy has still done it.
Nah, they're not gonna learn, man. They're not gonna learn. Nah.
They're not gonna learn. And the worst thing is, if you don't learn that you're being punished by a Gigas, you need to understand that Gigas' damage is very, very high.
It is.
It is very, very high. It is very, very high.
I mean, you know, okay.
As a Kaz main, that flowchart makes me sad. I bet it makes you sad. 1 - 2 on block, and then he dick jab.
I mean, you know, okay. Because of Season 3, everyone does a fuck ton of damage, but the point still stands. Gigas does a lot of fucking damage.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, easily like top 5 in damage, I'd say in the game.
Yeah, and now
together
it's...
with probably Paul, who else hits hard?
I mean, Brian can hit hard.
Brian hits very hard, but only on count.
Yeah, counter hit only, yeah. Steve also hits hard, but it's Steve.
King, maybe? King.
King?
Would his throw mix up at the end of the...
Oh, yeah, okay. If you take that in
wouldn't-
account...
I wouldn't say King, but I would say Marduk.
Oh my, how did we forget Marduk?
Yeah. Of
How
course,
the fuck
yeah,
did
I
we
would
forget
say
Marduk?
Marduk.
He's the king of damage, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he can
My
death
mentor
combo
said
you.
my mentor said I held my hands up. The first time I played a Gigas, I was like, how hard can this be? This character is the worst in the game. That's my point. Tearless. You remember what I said about Tearless at the start of this podcast? Does anyone remember?
Yeah, I do.
Tearless are based on the opinion of the pilot that is.
How drunk are you
great in the
right now?
Very.
You
Very.
sound shit-faced, man.
I am very shit-faced, man. I have drunk a whole bottle of. In fact, I will read it to the chat for everyone to understand. It is single barrel select from Jack Daniels. I have drunk this all to myself, and I am fucked.
Nice.
Alright, good shit. We're on this together. Good shit.
That's a good Wednesday, my man. I salute you.
100%. In fact, it's our first podcast, guys. And what's the best way to celebrate?
I mean, yeah,
Honestly?
fair enough.
100%. I don't drink normally, guys. In fact, I rarely drink. In fact, my mentor can vouch for this because I go around this quite often. But I felt like our first one deserved one.
I feel so too. I'd be right there with you if I had
Yeah,
had
100%. I'll be right there with you.
Wisdom teeth like pulled 2 days ago or what
Oh
was it,
man, that sounds
yesterday.
very, very hard. You
It's-
mastered that whole bottle, bro. I sent the picture of the whole bottle to my mentor, yeah, and it was quite big.
Nice.
And I just drunk that to myself. I'm
He's crying.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
It was quite big. How big was it? Hold on. Let me check.
Also, Paul hits hard, of course. Yeah, Lucky Chloe hits hard.
Paul's damage needs nothing.
What's with
It
the
was
rich?
70
what's with the
CL,
rage
45%
cancel?
alcohol.
Rage
I think I'm
cancel
quite
so
fucked,
stupid.
Damn, I heard nothing about that.
Sorry, go on. Say that again. Possible.
That the rage art cancel is just stupid.
Do you know what? With that rage art cancel, if they gave that to the Gigas, how would you feel?
I would come.
Why give a character that already hits hard like?
No, that is stupid. That is very stupid.
Exactly my point. Exactly my
Hey,
point.
thank you for the follow, man. Welcome.
Paul hits harder than any character in the game, yet he has a rage art cancel.
Hey, Ray Zuzel,
Stupid.
thank you. Well, I'll butcher that. Thank you for the follow, man. Welcome.
Why does this character have a rage art cancel?
Yeah, in Mufasa, we're not even counting 2D fighters because we already know they're problematic. We already know.
Paul is the closest to One Punch Man. In fact, I think he's more powerful than One Punch Man.
Who? Paul Phoenix?
Yeah, Paul,
Paul
100%, that character is more cancer than One Punch Man could ever think he could be. Ever think he could be. And I know I'm quite drunk, but I'm sorry, guys. But it's like, Paul, when he hits you and he's enraged, it's like, lol, goodbye life bar.
Hey,
Yeah,
know what I mean?
time.
it's done. You're gonna
It's
get death
done.
combo.
100% you're gonna get death combo.
It's
100%.
doesn't
It's like
matter.
it's like if Gigas hits you with forward 4-2 on count hit, and your back is to the wall on a balcony break combo.
Oh, that's.
If I do back 2 fully charged, and that wall breaks, that's already 86 damage before you even broke the wall. If I'm in rage and I do down back 3-2, forward 1+2 into the wall, into rage up, you die.
Yeah,
You
you
die. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much life left. It's like you have one. If you have minimum life left, you have one guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how hard it is to guess one, Tekken?
Wait, what's your point? Are you explaining how hard it is to guess a 50-50?
Exactly my point. You know how hard it is to
'Cause
guess
that's
a
50-50, my
50-50?
brother.
Exactly my point. It's a one in one chance. It's like you have one. Oh, Talon is ready drunk. I am very drunk.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very sorry
you
for
know-
anyone that's watching this video. I'm drunk now right now. I'm really sorry.
only way- the
Ignore
only
anything
way-
I say. Ignore
only way-
anything I say.
The only way you're gonna come back is guess the 50-50.
Paul is a wanker. Hey, Signal, what's up, man?
If you
Paul
if you
is a
guess the
wanker.
50-50
I agree. Paul is a bitch.
Paul's a wanker.
Paul is a wanker. Hey, what's up, Signal? How are you, man?
Hey,
one of the
Sig- oh
One of the
shit.
best signals in one of the best Gigases in the UK, probably the EU.
Wait. Okay, I don't want to.
Signor
I don't want
or
to talk
Signor?
about something which might be a little bit sensitive. But isn't this the guy with the handshake mix-up?
Yeah, the handshake mix-up. No, that's Fergus. Don't insult Signal. Like that.
Oh!
Such a stupid video. The handshake mix up. It's so
I'm
awkward.
only out of the bed and this lad is already drunk. Wait, you're Irish. You should be born drunk.
Damn facts. Yo, damn, bro, that handshake.
Eris blamed
Fergus.
Fergus.
Yeah,
I
but
take no
bro,
blame.
did you see how he went in
accept
like
that.
this, and it automatically shifted like this? I got mixed. I got mixed on that shit. I didn't know what to do. I got hit. I got hit so hard. Oh
In
man.
fact, cause Signal is here, yeah. Cause we already asked best and worst matchup in the game for Gigas. What's
Mhm.
his opinion?
Yeah, I wanted to know. Yo, Signal, let me know what
What's
your
the
favorite
best
is.
matchup for Gigas and what's the worst matchup?
Yes.
Bearing in mind that Gigas doesn't have. Oh, this matchup's amazing for Gigas.
Oh, he
Bearing
says
in
Jin as
mind
well.
that
Jin is the
Jin as
worst.
well.
100% Jin.
I
Any
agree.
Gigas player would say Jin.
I agree.
What's the best? What's the best? I'm
Yeah.
gonna say Noctis.
Yeah,
I'm
Noctis
gonna
for
say
me.
Noctis.
It is Noctis for me.
Oh, Noctis for me as well. I'm sorry, but Noctis for me myself.
It's probably
I'm
a
sorry, man.
character I know well that I've also made. Like those are the characters I struggle the least against because I just know,
You know what?
what's going on.
Signal said that I like fighting Jack, but this is the thing. I saw a comment earlier. Why is Jack? Because I did put up a matchup tier list versus
Mhm.
certain characters where Gigas is better.
Weren't you advocating against tier
Understand-
lists?
This is the thing. I'm always against tier list because it's always the pilot. But this is where I went wrong.
This is
I
you're
took
mixing
that
up.
tier list.
You're mixing us up now.
Yeah. Yo,
But
I
this
can't
is where I
stand
went
this
wrong with that
mix-up.
tier list. Though. This Phosphorus. This is where you need to understand. I went wrong with that tier list because I took that tier list and I made it my own by going. I'll just change a few bits around. That was my fault. That was my fault. Because I've never played a Jack that's very good, and I have myself never labbed Jack because I don't really play them.
Fair enough.
Signal says he likes fighting Jack, and he has told me why Jack versus Gigas is actually more in Jack's favor because, well, more in Gigas' favor because, range-wise, Gigas wins.
It does. Yeah,
That's
it
what
does.
Signal told me. I don't know if Signal wants to go more in detail about that, but I have seen that he said that in the matchup, Gigas versus Jack wins. I mean, Gigas wins. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I knew what you
I'm
mean.
really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
Jack has
great.
no
Jack has
10 frame jab, so he
he
can't play the range game as well.
There we go.
And also, one of the thing, maybe he agrees with this, but I find, Jack doing jackhammer from range, I can just close the gap with 4-4-2. It's so much quicker than a jackhammer. So
Yeah.
if he tries to space me out,
6-0 against Jack? What? Yojin Boy 6-0 against Jack?
yeah,
Yo,
didn't
show
you?
me this.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
That
Oh,
sounds wild.
yep, I'm
He
on it, Chief.
destroyed-
I'm on
he
it. I'm on it.
destroyed,
I laughed the living fuck out of that set.
My mentor said that I think you could almost do a Gigas matchup tier list for each beginner.
And also,
intermediate,
Signer
expert,
also says,
and
you
pro.
can do down 3+4 jackhammer easily, which I totally agree. So you,
Well, what punish would you get from that? 1-2
No,
or
I
down
think, Senor, I think the cell was in the Philippines during Rev Major. I think. I'm not sure. Is this Rev Major? This is Rev Major. Yeah, that's Philippines. That's Manila.
well, here we go. Oh, what is this quality though? Oof.
This is Gigas Vision. It's like he's a cyborg. Everything's in
Okay.
244p. That's how it goes.
Damn, look at the back too.
It's
Oh,
great. I watch
yeah.
this match every once in a while just to get hype for playing Gigas.
God damn, yo. Okay,
Fuck,
excuse me.
I'm
The
still-
opening already, the fucking resplat, bro.
Yeah, it's this is great.
I saw him beat Saint 2-0 in Poland. Was off stream though.
Damn.
It's quite sad when matchups like that are off stream.
Yeah.
Because I feel that Gigas matchups are never really represented and shown off enough. And Gigas himself, obviously, he isn't represented and he isn't shown off enough. So everyone doesn't know the matchup specific. Does
Mhm.
that make sense?
No,
So I feel Gigas is. I know so many people will probably agree with me on this. I feel Gigas is quite slept on.
He is in higher level play,
Yes,
I'd say.
I feel he's quite slept on.
But
Quite a bit actually.
There should be more in-depth reasons why Gigas doesn't excel in the current like high level play environment. Like why the other pro players are not having a difficult time against Gigas while they should be. Is it because of the lack of good Gigas players, or is it because the I don't know. I'm curious to what you guys think about that.
all right, who's first?
I think it's good Gigas.
You think it's a lack of good Gigas players?
My mentor says that no one has unlocked him yet. I also agree.
Yujin Boy he's up there together with Dotoring, I'd say.
Yeah, Dotoring and Yojin, yeah.
But when it comes to Korean level play, you need to understand that they are more safe in their approach to the gameplay of the character.
You know what, my
They
opinion,
wouldn't put themselves
Is
at
there any
risk.
Pakistani Gigas
I think
out there?
in my opinion, if I can piggyback on this, I think the lack on Gigas is because everyone sees him as this shitty character.
Signal says that people don't play him because everyone says he's too
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Like, I
Yeah.
think that is one
And
of the
my mentor
biggest.
My mentor says most people try to play him like he is a fundamental Tekken character.
But that won't get you far. This guy has ridiculous setups.
Same if you look at what's the guy the Yoshi player from the UK?
Kane Trench, yeah.
Kane Trench.
Like he plays Yoshi very fundamental, but it plateaus at a certain point.
I'm going to be honest with you. Kane Trench is one of those people that have labbed everything.
Oh yeah, he knows.
The guy is an ultimate. I know this isn't insult, by the way. It's more of a compliment, and as it sounds weird, but he's more as a Tekken nerd.
Oh, that is a compliment.
Tekken nerd. The guy has labbed pretty much everything that you can think of, and he doesn't travel enough for people to understand how strong he is at this game.
Yeah, he's really good. I remember watching this.
Signal says that he plays Gigas mad dry, to be honest, and I agree, man. His combos are quite crap. Sorry,
Oof.
Signal. Your combos are quite dry.
Yeah, I wish Gigas had more combo flexibility.
Routes.
Potential?
Yeah,
Like-
potential
Yeah,
routes.
I agree.
Like the other characters I play are Steve and Warren, and they have so much combo flexibility. Like you have
Yep.
so many options, and they're so specialized in certain situations. And I think it's a lot of fun to launch somebody and then to have to think like, hey, what's going on? What's optimal here? And with Gigas, it's always the same 3 options or something.
Mhm,
Fuck Gigas.
mhm.
What the fuck?
Was that type?
That was type. He made his return.
No, I did not. I'm still waiting for my sister.
He just goes fuck Gigas, and the guy mains Gigas.
No, he means
The
Marduk,
reason
right?
why so many people think Gigas is weak is because they listen to some wannabe high god of Tekken.
It's because they listen to
Yes.
and
I'm
basically.
gonna say this right now without insulting the person. Knee, Arslan, anything that's quite high, if that makes sense, quite high in the Tekken community.
Right.
When it comes to maining a character like Gigas, Yoshi, anyone that is specialist-wise, saying that that character is weak in certain situations is a bad idea because it requires the person to have excellent matchup knowledge of said character for them to be able to optimize their strategy against that character,
Right.
if that makes sense.
No, that
Yeah,
that does.
Because if I was to go against a Jin that had excellent matchup knowledge against Gigas, I would lose.
Yeah.
But if I was to go against a Jin that had really shit matchup knowledge against Gigas, I would win.
Of course, yeah.
That's how the game works. Jin is one of the worst matchups for Gigas entirely. But if that Jin doesn't have matchup knowledge against Gigas, Gigas win.
That is fair, yeah. Damn, that's 6-0. That 6-0 is ridiculous. Hey, still no Kevin. Long time no see, man. But on this topic, you know, let me piggyback on my opinion on this because
He's like pointing at him and laughing. I
yeah,
love
he's
this
like,
part.
ha, bitch, got him. You suck.
Let me have a rest, man. I've been drinking too much.
Yeah, sure. On this topic, you know, because the question still remains like, why is there no like Gigas representation in higher level, right? To be very honest, I mean, I love Gigas, right? And I think the answer is, well, you have other characters that does the shit better, and if you want to win the tournament, you're just gonna choose them, right?
Exactly.
So in short, Gigas is strong, but the rest of the cast is just strong.
It's way stronger. That is, I think, my answer on that question.
Gigas to even make an appearance.
That is the reason why you won't see a lot of Gigas, is because, again, you know, the character on its own is a cool character, but I mean, you have all the other characters that are way better, safer, stronger to do the same shit, and that is the reason why you won't see a lot of Gigas representation in higher level. In, like, you know, random online, maybe it will explode after a time that people will find cool setups. We are one of them, right? We're like the community here that helps Gigas players that, hey, you can do this with Gigas, and oh shit, now we can do this setup that is actually pretty fucking ridiculous. But in higher level, I highly doubt it because we have to do so much more compared to other characters, and that is,
No other character can pinball though. I agree.
yeah, no other characters can pinball. That is true. That is true.
Pinball is my favorite 50-50. I'm sorry, but if you get back to looped by
Or enraged. The enraged how is however a very big key move that if someone master it, you can go off the charts with that move, right?
100%.
But
100%.
it is such a difficult move to master, you know, and again, why would you take all that time to master that move if you can just use a different character, not having to train that and do even better? So that's, I guess, my answer on this on the topic.
Just pick Leroy. Just pick Leroy.
Yeah, just pick Leroy. Did you hear Book?
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
Tekken World
cool.
Tour, right? Oh no, that was Evo Japan, and he was like with
Evo
the most
Japan.
sad face, like, yeah, just pick Leroy.
Also because I really like Book's Jin. I think he really optimizes on Jin, and nobody uses the Jin parry like him.
Yo, Chicken
And
Mario,
he never really wins tournaments. And then the first time he wins a tournament, it's with fucking Leroy.
It's
that was sad, man.
That is horrible. Let me check that real quick. Evo, Japan, top 8, right? 6 Leroys. Here we go, boys.
Also, if I were to main Jin, I would use the fuck out of that parry. I never see Jin mains use that parry very well.
That is a thing that I also question myself. Like, it looks like if you whip the parry, the recovery frames are not that big, right? Like if you, it is not like.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, right.
It's not like Flash or something.
No, Flash is just okay. I whiffed. I'm dead. Oh, I've been listening for a while and now I can interact. Gigas is broken. Yeah, his ass is most definitely broken. I cannot focus if Gigas is at player 2 side. That shit is ridiculous. But yeah, man, I think on representation, it will happen. Maybe, you know, people are maybe bored on different characters now.
I'm afraid Gigas will gain traction and then Tekken 8 is gonna be there, and then it's gonna be all over.
What are your guys' opinion on a new iteration on Tekken? What do you guys think?
I don't know. It depends on whether it's. That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that. Like I think for a lot of people it was Season 4 Tekken 8, right? When they were speculating.
Yeah.
But I think Season 4 right now makes more sense.
Yo,
No.
Nuno is in the chat.
Then
This
dropping
is
another Tekken.
broken. Chikumaru shop.
I don't know. What's your opinion, Ficus?
Okay. First of all, let me talk about this real quick. Tekken 8 Gigas won't be in there, so I'm not gonna play it. Because, I mean, come on, be honest. Are we really gonna get Gigas in Tekken 8?
Well, maybe
No.
as like a full rework.
You think so?
It could be. They're not gonna put him in Tekken 8 like he is here. He's either not gonna make it or get something of a rework, I think.
The thing with Tekken 8 is, once they remove him, I do not want to hear one complaint about Marduk, not one.
Damn it, type with the facts again.
Not one. The community wanted Gigas gone, now you have to deal with Marduk.
Hey, fair point, right? No, that's a fair point. But yeah, about Tekken 8, okay. Imagine if he will make it a Tekken 8, so I will play the game. First of all, get the fuck out with those 2D characters, please. Get out. Go back to Street Fighter. And second of all, I think, because I never played different fighting games or different Tekken games, shit like that. I think they need to buff mobility again, because for what I've heard in Tekken Tag 2, sidestepping was pretty fucking nice to do. Like, you can really avoid strings and shit like that. And it also
Refloating as well.
Sorry?
Refloating as well.
Yeah,
Was
refloating,
fun.
stuff like that. But what do you guys think about Bound vs. Crew? That is a pretty interesting one.
Well, Bound allowed you to get.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
like-
gonna sit this one out because I wasn't really there when it was bound. I came round when it was screws. So I'm gonna sit this one out.
I don't know, screws look, I don't know, look better.
It looks aesthetically more pleasing, I think. I also didn't really play Tekken before Screw, so it's hard to tell. But from what I understood, Bound allowed you to get ridiculous wall damage.
Yeah, I did, because you could carry to the wall, and at the wall you could
then bound.
Then bound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something I've seen, so that's why. I don't know what they will do in Tekken 8. Like, will they remove shit? Will they add shit? Like, I have no clue actually, but I just hope that they will just do something about the power creeping, that everyone deletes like half bars after one launch. You know, that it
Yeah.
will take a little bit longer to play against each other, because now it just feels like, oh, I got launched. Okay, that is 50%. It doesn't matter who
Also,
you
I
play.
think everybody enjoys watching and playing like movement-based Poke Tekken more than just one combo and then everybody dies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like also to watch, it's very, very boring. It's still very quickly.
Yeah, I mean,
think.
what is the fun about? Oh, he got hit with this. Okay, well, you guessed wrong on the Oki. That is one round. Let's go for the second one. Like, that is not how I like my Tekken. You know, if I see season 1 as an example, you know, people really spacing each other out and waiting for the whiff punish, and even if you fuck then, you know, if you fuck it up, you still had a chance to come back because he didn't delete like 60%.
Yeah.
I think that might be the biggest gripe for me in Tekken 8, that they will stop power creeping everyone and give everyone his like specific strength. Like Lee was known for his amazing wall carry, right? Now everyone has wall carry, so I don't really see the point using Lee as an example.
Yeah, because they made a part that's unique to a character available for everybody. That's essentially the problem.
Yeah,
Right.
Everyone has too much carry in season 3.
What just
Are you
happened?
still alive?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I think so. I'm trying. I'm just gonna mute my mic and die.
Hey, I'm probably gonna call it quits because like the headache and the jaw is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
unbearable for me
You
at that-
removed
at
your
this point.
tooth and shit like that, right?
So and also the headset is really crushing my
No, no
In
problem.
fact, Thickers, I know we've got quite a few people watching right now, but I'm quite drunk.
Nah, no problem. We can continue episode 2 on a different day. It's all good. this,
Yeah,
this was-
100%.
This is very
I
really
just
fun.
know drunk quite.
Thickest, what kind of mods do you have in Twitch, man?
We don't need mods. We just play Gigas and just fuck about with people's life.
You have some drunk bastard and someone pussy there. Am I the only one that does
Hey.
shit?
What am I missing here? But yeah,
man.
okay. I guess we
They
can
should
call it quits.
nerf raid drives too.
There's no real reason.
I think we've lost Talon.
Yeah, Talon died.
I
No.
think we lost talent too, and
Oh,
I'm
God.
talented. I'm dying.
Okay, should we call it quits or do you guys want to continue?
No, it's all good, man.
No, I'm
because
done.
one is dying here because he drank a lot of alcohol. Yeah, you with the hat. I understand. So I guess we could call it a quits and go for episode 2 on a different day.
Cool.
Right, guys. Next time, Talon promises not to drink alcohol. He doesn't normally drink, so it's fine.
Okay, but it calls for a celebration. I mean, it's podcast number 2.
Oh, this is going wrong already. We didn't even
Okay,
start
okay.
on episode 2 and this is going wrong already. I like
when
it.
I saw this message, me sound wasted. If that's the case, I'm gonna come off. I probably sound really bad.
No, it's alright.
It's
It's like
alright.
noticeable, but sometimes I can figure out what you're saying. So
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
think anyone
Fine.
that watches this thing can figure out what I'm saying when they try to put their mind to it.
But okay, man. That will
So
be
yeah,
for
give me
this.
nightmares again, man. 1 to
Yep.
49. Hell no.
Next
Hey, guys,
time, though, I won't drink. I promise.
it was a pleasure. Thickest, thanks for letting me join in and my my stupid humble opinions.
No
We
problem, man.
broadcasted
Yo.
to the
Great.
world. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no
It
problem.
really broke
Goes
the
for anyone that joined in. To be honest.
and Talon, thanks for thanks for all
killing
your opinions on Tekken. I mean, it was more like a monologue at sometimes, but it's,
I'm very sorry.
it's fine, man. It's fine, man. You carry the you totally carry the podcast, so that's
Yeah,
good.
you did. I was just
Podcast
here
is
like,
about-
let Talon do the work. I'm good.
Yeah. He just carried us. He carried us. He carried us. And type,
I'm
fuck
sorry.
you, type.
Yeah, fuck
Man,
you,
man,
Dad.
what the
Everyone,
Oh
fuck you,
my
Dad.
god.
Everyone in the chat, Everyone in the chat, I want to see that 35 people watching. I want to see 35 saying fuck you type.
Man, what the fuck did I do now?
Why are we roasting type again?
Chat, don't listen. Don't listen.
Because he
If
roasts
you-
us. So he gets roasted back.
If you do that, no more tech. Then I will switch to Marduk. For it.
Seems only fair.
You switched to Marduk.
Man, fuck you, Frosty.
Oh, Frosty, damn! You got.
Alright, I'll see you
covered.
guys. I'm signing
Oh,
off.
god damn it.
Bye bye.
All right, man.
Peace out, guys.
Have a nice
Thank you
day,
so much for
man.
joining.
Bye, man. See ya, boys.
Alright, peace.